What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate everybody that was retweeting the live stream tweet there. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for that. Let me see. This thing may not be live. Now it is. Okay, my fault. I don't know why it's had it scheduled for 9:50. It was not supposed to be live at 9:50. It was going to be live at this time. So we're gonna let everybody get in. Hold on. Oh, shit. Sorry, we had to let some people get in here. We didn't have enough people in here. But yeah, Raymond, I see you talking about what the hell. I told you. Yep. Excuse me. I told you last night I was going to be live tonight. I told you. It's later than I wanted it to be, but I'm live tonight. There were some things that I wanted to talk about Monday that I didn't get to talk about, things I wanted to talk about Wednesday that I didn't get to talk about. So we were definitely talking about them today. And of course, with the some of the newest things out, it's already on the list to talk about Monday and Wednesday. But some of the newest things out about Captain America, we are definitely going to discuss. So how was everybody doing? I appreciate all you guys being here. Raymond, Professor Film Fan, Ty, Chill, Understanding, everybody. I appreciate you all being here this evening, the ones that are in the chat and the ones that are paying attention, just watching. So I appreciate all of you guys. But we're going to get into everything that we have to talk about today. It has been a very, very, very stressful week as we're mindful, as in my mind at least, as far as like just getting closer to. This is one of the last real months before I have to really start figuring out the move and everything like that, and that shit's stressful. I'm not trying to go through all that, and then just a bunch of other things. So it has been a crazy week, but the Marvel news has been pretty interesting. The movie news has been pretty interesting. So definitely going to get into all of that stuff. And there were things that weren't even in the movie news that were interesting. Like one of the things that I had seen on the Shade Room was Kim Burrell, the gospel singer Kim Burrell, she at another time during one of her services or something, she had told somebody to, I'm gonna make you get out. At another time during one of her services, she told someone to be quiet. Yeah, make him get him out. Jalabai. Yeah, that's fine, but get him out. Bye. Jala, go. Out. Go.
Let's go.
Go out the room. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, she had told somebody to be quiet during the service, and she didn't. This is not the first time she's done it, but she told somebody to be quiet during her service and let her sing. And then this most recent time, she told someone else to be quiet. And I'm just like, if me personally, you're not telling me to be quiet at church while I'm singing during praise and worship. I don't give a damn if it's a solo or not. That's you are in the presence of God, and that is, if you want to praise and worship, that is what that time is for. So, Kim is something else. I had a whole nother thing I wanted to say about her, but I'm not going to get into that part deep in it. We are just going to get into we're going to get into the other topics here. Chill said that dog was about to turn the tripod in real life. Nikki, no. Keep telling y'all. See, the Nikki jokes, they're gonna die very, very soon. I'm not that big of a Nikki fan. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I like Nikki. At one point in time, again, I was a big Nikki fan, but I am not. Nikki's not Nick no more. She's a very different artist than she once was. She has her moments where she can revert back to being Nick, but for the most part, she's not. So, like I said, Nikki fan, but not that big of a Nikki fan. Okay, let's get into some of the topics and things that we have to talk about. Let's actually start with. Let's start. Oh, I didn't pull that one. Okay. So it has been rumored that for a while now that Robert Pattinson's Batman was going to end up joining James Gunn's DCU. And this is something that James Gunn had pitched and wanted at the very beginning when he took over at DC and became the president with Peter Safran. So when this all took place and he originally wanted this, obviously Matt Reeves had shut this down because Matt Reeves has stood on the belief and principle that he wants his Batman to be in a separate, complete universe from the DCU. He doesn't want his Batman to be in this world with these godlike figures. He doesn't even know how his Batman would fit into a world with these godlike figures. So what he wants is a more grounded Batman. That is why you got the Zodiac Riddler that we got, and that is why the rumors, if they are true, of Mr. Freeze being the villain in the next film, and if that is true, they are, because there's also a rumor going around right now that they are working on a Mr. Freeze HBO Max series to, I guess, tie into what they're doing with the Matt Reeves Bat universe. And see, all of these rumors, and again, these are just rumors right now, grain of salt, nothing's been confirmed by James Gunn or DC or Warner Brothers or anything like that. But with Matt Reeves, if he is doing all these spinoffs and has all these spinoffs, planned, like a Mr. Freeze, and we've even heard for a Clayface, they've got the Penguin one that I hear is doing very well right now. I haven't watched any of it, but I hear it's doing very well right now. You've got all these different spinoffs, all these different things that you've got trying to build up the Matt Reeves Bat universe. And Matt Reeves himself has even said it could be 3 to 4 films. With that, Matt Reeves is not going to then I mean, again, as I said last night on the Pantheon stream, with James Gunn being the president, he could easily make Matt Reeves do whatever it is he wants Matt Reeves to do. But at the end of the day, then you have a disgruntled Matt Reeves. You have a director that is not happy in the playground that he's having to play in because this is not what he signed up for. He didn't originally sign up for his Batman to join the DCU and be next to these godlike figures doing these godlike things. Again, he wants it to be grounded. And, I do think, though, within the DC universe, if you look at the comics, you look at anything like you look at the Justice League animated show, you look at Young Justice or Teen Titans or any of those other views of the DC universe that we've gotten to see. Metropolis is obviously different than Gotham. Gotham is obviously different than Star City. Star City is obviously different than the Mascara, and then on and on and on. So they're all going to look different, and I think Matt Reeves's Gotham, I thought that was the most comic one of the most comic things in the Batman, the way that Gotham looked. I think the way that he has built Gotham, I think that still works. And I even think that Robert Pattinson's Batman still could work next to David Cornsweet as Kal-El, or next to I forget who's playing Mr. Terrific, next to Mr. Terrific or any of those others. I think it could work. I personally liked Robert Pattinson's Batman, and this has been a rumor, like I said, for quite some time. Is it something that's going to happen? We don't really know, but this is what CBR is saying. They're saying that there is no word on who Gunn and Safran are considering to play Batman and to play Batman and Brave and the Bold, which is one of the 5 movies set under the DCU Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. 2 MCU names, however, have expressed their interest in portraying Gotham City's protector in the DCU. One name is the Black Panther franchise star Winston Duke. Obviously, when Winston Duke said that, that's fine. Winston Duke can express all the want to need or whatever it is he wants to be Batman. No, as I said then, when Winston Duke originally said this, no. I'm one of the ones that believe, and you can disagree with me, and that's fine. But I'm one of the ones that believe that Bruce Wayne needs to be a white man because of Bruce Wayne's backstory. His backstory is a rich white kid who watched his parents get murdered and then grew up, wealthy, intelligent, and everything else to become the Cape Crusader Batman. Winston Duke, no, or any other black man, and for that matter, to be Batman. There are black heroes that Winston Duke could have said he wanted to be in the DCU, like Icon. He has that Icon build that he could have been more to fit to be an Icon. But to be Bruce Wayne, no. Then it goes on to say who has voiced the character on Spotify podcasts, and that is fine. Voice him all you want. Being him in live action, absolutely not. Batman Unburied, another is Spider-Man. For Spider-Man Far From Home's Jake Gyllenhaal, who is a huge Batman fan. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal went out for The Dark Knight. He went out for the role that Christian Bale ultimately got in who is that? Christopher Nolan's Batman universe. So Jake Gyllenhaal has wanted to be Batman for a long time. Who was it that said? Alan Richmond, I think, is who it is. It said he wanted to be Batman in the DCU, and I thought that really fit. I think he has the build. He's got the face. He's got that jaw, kind of like Ben Affleck. Got that jaw that even fits that Batman. So I liked that too, and I honestly don't mind the Jake Gyllenhaal thing. I think Jake Gyllenhaal could potentially be a good Batman. This is something that he's wanted to do for a long time, so he could possibly be a good candidate for it. Goes on to say the Batman 2, which begins filming next year with Pattinson set again to play the title character, with Colin Farrell confirmed to reprise the role as Oz Cobb instead of Cobblepot. It's now Oz Cobb, the Penguin, with Zoe Kravitz, Andy Serkis, and Barry Keoghan all expected to return. Many were hoping to see Pattinson make a cameo in The Penguin, which takes place 1 week after the events of the Batman. However, Reeves and The Penguin showrunner Lauren Lefranc refuted the cameo claims, claiming the HBO series story was better off without the Dark Knight appearing. I don't, and that's also such a weird approach to me. Now, we had heard that for quite some time too, that was rumored, and that was coming from Jeff Snyder. And Jeff Snyder has been very, very, when he's on, but when he's off. And that was something that he was completely off on. He stood behind that quite hard, saying that the Batman is going to show up, and it may not be him in the suit, it may just be Bruce Wayne, but he had heard from his sources that Robert Pattinson was going to show up in the Penguin. Obviously, showrunners and them have debunked that and said he is not, and I've never understood why you want to do things where the main character just is not involved. I'm not saying that the Batman needs to come in. I get it. It's a Penguin series, and I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to what does it need him or not. I can't speak to that. And I'm not saying he needs to come in there and overshadow, Colin Farrell as the Penguin in his own show. What I'm saying is, Bruce Wayne, little cameo here, boom, boom, boom. Maybe not even Batman. I don't know, but just something that obviously we know it's tied to everything, but the main character for me showing up in things is always a hit. So, but that's obviously not going to happen. So with all of these things, with all of that Matt Reeves is wanting to do, and the possibilities of the Batman coming, or I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson's Batman being in the DCU are very, very real. And this is where Jeff Snyder was talking about that. He said, according to Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is eager for Batman to grace screens sooner rather than later, considering The Dark Knight remains a huge draw for DC with no release window confirmed for The Brave and the Bold and Batman Part 2. Set for a late 2026 premiere. Zaslav reportedly wants a Batman movie soon to help the DC pose a strong competition to Marvel Cinematic Universe. One possibility being weighed is Pattinson becoming the DCU new Batman after the Batman Part 2 comes out, and the Batman franchise retroactively becoming a DCU franchise. Now, here's the thing too about that. If it comes out, if you make that decision, obviously you're doing Batman 2 right now. The script is done. Those are things that we do know. Well, since we're talking Batman 2, I'll go to that very, very quickly. But if you're doing that, if you're going to have it happen after the Batman 2, does that mean that you have to then revise the script and revise things that you have currently done for Batman 2? Because the things that we do know are the script is finished. It says Matt Reeves doesn't know if Craig Fraser will return as cinematographer yet. Filming could possibly conflict with Dune 3. There's a period of time it jumps to after the Penguin, with Oz being one of the entry points into the movie. Michael, I can never see his name. Is it Giancano? Promised to return to score the sequel, hoping to gear up. Next one, it says, hoping to gear up at the beginning of next year. We'll start filming maybe mid-year, and will be another murder mystery. And we know that the villain is either going to be Mr. Freeze, rumored wise Mr. Freeze, or I thought one was also Clayface. And but I believe what everyone is coming to the same kind of conclusion of is that it's going to be the Court of Owls. So the Court of Owls, I think, is the at the top of the villains list. I think then it goes Mr. Freeze, Clayface, and some of the others that they were rumored to wanting to use. But I think the Court of Owls is going to be the main villains in the Batman 2. But if you start Batman 2, then you have to revise the script with the script already being finished. If Batman 2 leads in after it, he's supposed to be the Batman in DCU, and this is not confirmed or anything like that, but it's just playing off of it. Let's just think that this is the road that they do want to go down. If I'm Matt Reeves, I'm pissed, because I've been saying forever, I want my 4 films or my 3 films. You've got the whole thing that you set up with, not to say that you still can't have those films happen. But at the same time, he just did not want his Batman interacting with everything going on like that. But at the same time too, with his next 2 films, if he does 4 instead of 3, he doesn't have to mention anything that happens within the DCU. I mean, granted, that is a little, that's one of the things that we have complained about within the MCU currently is there's been no mention of the Celestial Tiamat sticking out of the ocean. There's been no mention of Star Fox. We've seen nothing of that. We've seen nothing of from Scar with She-Hulk. Not that there's been too much of anything that we've all, there's just not been a lot of payoff from some of the things that we've seen in some of these post-credit scenes or whatever. So you don't have to mention DCU events in the Batman movies to keep it kind of separate, to still kind of have that separate feel if Matt Reeves really wanted to do that. But then again, how does that make some fans feel? Does it make it feel like it's still disconnected or whatever? Or does it really matter as long as Robert Pattinson's Batman just pops up in DCU events? Really don't know. But my opinion on should they have two Batmans? I don't think so. And I don't think it's a confusion thing. I would hope everyone is smart enough to understand that Robert Pattinson plays one version and another person would play another version. So that wouldn't confuse me when sitting down watching the films. I just don't think it's necessary to have two people playing the character at all. You've already got everything set up. You're doing the reboot right now. This was an already rebooted franchise with this Batman. Just add him. And again, I know it goes against what Matt Reeves wanted, but it just makes the most sense to me. So, but the question is for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think it would make sense to add Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU, or do you think that you should just cast a different person to play Batman and have that person go on to be the Batman in Brave and the Bold? But then again, too, that's another question. What do you do with Brave and the Bold? Is Brave and the Bold even a thing if you do have Robert Pattinson's Batman come in? Because Matt Reeves is not then going to take on your plans for Brave and the Bold. It's a lot of different variables. So let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. And let's see. Hunter, I appreciate you being here. Black Panther, appreciate you being here as well. Let's see. Understanding said he is too small to be Rob Pat's too small to be to be Batman. It's the only thing that, and I don't know. I personally liked Robert Pattinson as Batman when I saw the film. Is that a film that I've rewatched over and over? No, it's very long, but it's a fine film. I enjoyed it when I saw it the first time. I didn't go see it multiple times in theaters, but I did enjoy it. Chill said he'd prefer Pattinson over Bruce. He said he'd prefer Pattinson over if Bruce was cast black. It would be the reason used against using more black superheroes. The studio would believe that there are enough. I agree with that. Black Panther said, as much as I enjoyed the Batman, Robert Pattinson is just okay to me. No, yeah, he is just okay. He's not like, he wasn't wow. He didn't wow me as Batman, but he was okay. Something that Marcus brought up last night was very true. Even as Bruce, he is still very, stoic Batman. And I understand this is what, year 2? That was year 2. So maybe he's still, I don't know. But we'll see how Pattinson does as the Batman in the next film. Understanding said Batman should be bigger, especially because he doesn't have any real powers. That's true too. That's true. That's why I said Alan Richmond. I think that is his name. Let me make sure and see if that is his name. Oh, okay. Yeah. This dude. He said he wanted to be Batman. He said it multiple times. Not as of lately, but he has said it in interviews and things like that. He was my pick. I thought he'd be good. And like I said, he's a pretty big dude. Let me see. Yeah, I thought he'd be good. And like I said, he's expressed his want in it multiple times. So I thought he'd be pretty good. I liked him. But I do agree. Batman should be bigger. Yeah, Bobby said he's a smart choice. Yeah, I think he really would be cool. He fits the build. I think he's got, like I said, the jaw and everything like that. It fits. It works. All right. Now, the Lantern series. Understanding said, oh yeah, that guy. I would definitely see him as Batman. Yeah, he works. I think he's dope, bro. I think that shit really works. Now, the Green Lantern series is been talked about quite a bit because it got talked about when Josh Brolin was rumored, and obviously it wasn't a rumor because Josh Brolin talked about it on, I want to say, maybe it was the Happy Sad Confused podcast, or it was with Phase Zero. I don't know which one it was. And I could have been wrong on both of those. It might have been comicbook.com, but it really doesn't matter. He was on a podcast. In that podcast, he had said that, yeah, he had turned it down and there may be another DC role that comes about that, he may be interested in. So with all those rumors came out that he was going to get, and who got, it was Kyle Chandler that ultimately ended up getting the role as Hal Jordan, and it's going to be an older Hal Jordan. And now we are trying to, right now, DC is trying to narrow down who is going to get the role of John Stewart in the Green Lantern. And John Stewart is going to go forward being the main Green Lantern in the DCU. And I know people there's been that debate on, on Twitter. I've seen it going around when people say, when you think Green Lantern, who comes to mind automatically? And I think that it depends on where, what era of DC you came, when you came into DC. For me personally, I came in when I was a kid. I mean, the Justice League was always on Cartoon Network all the time, and the Justice League Unlimited. And when it was on, it was John Stewart. So John Stewart was the Green Lantern that I was more akin. Not to say that I didn't know who Hal Jordan was before, but I got more akin to John Stewart. So that became my Green Lantern. So when I think Green Lantern, I automatically think John Stewart. So him being the main character or the main Lantern in the DCU just makes sense to me with what the roster of, I'm assuming who the Justice League are going to be. So I love that he's going to be there. But who is going to play him? And if I'm saying, is it Aaron Pierre? Is his last name Pierre? I've seen the conversations. I've seen it everywhere. I do not believe that Aaron should be John. I don't. I think there are other good roles that Aaron could possibly be, but the reason I don't think that he should be John is just because the brother's too light skinned. And I saw somebody share on Twitter the picture of Ray Fisher playing Cyborg, with a picture of Cyborg from the comics. And obviously Cyborg in the comics is darker skinned. Ray is lighter skinned, and saying, you guys are hypocrites, da 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 da. And some of us didn't think that Ray should have been Cyborg. And I was one of them. So he's too light. I just think that if you're going to do John, and we're going to do characters of color, and we're going to have them we want our characters to be accurate, just like the other characters are accurate. And I think that if you're going to have John Stewart, he needs to not be a light-skinned brother. And the reason he shouldn't be a light-skinned brother is because, and here's the thing too, I don't want to go into the deepness of this conversation like this, but it's the colorism in Hollywood. It's like the lighter skin, and the lighter tone, the skin, the prettier it is, the more acceptable it is. And not only, I mean, we just talked about this with X-Men 97. Is it Allison Seals, I think is her name, that plays that voices Storm in the X-Men 97 and in the X-Men OG series. She talked about that. She talked about how in the 90s, that's why Storm was the lighter skinned tone, and they talked about her being darker skinned in the 90s. It's a whole conversation she had. They wanted her to be darker skinned in the 90s. Well, she wanted her to be darker skinned in the 90s, but they did not want her to be, because that was not appealing. The darker skin that wasn't what the audience wanted to see. The audience wanted to see a lighter skin tone because that was prettier and that was closer to the white expectation. So she talked about that, and then she talked about seeing him and seeing her skin color in 97, and how that just, how her being the accurate color that she is in the comics, or close to the color that she is in the comics. And then how just, she said that was just, it made her feel good. She said it made her feel good, and it was just accurate to who the character is. And even if you look in The Harder They Fall, the director that just got, and we're going to talk about it, that just got pinned on, I guess, for Blade, the newest 19th director for Blade. He directed The Harder They Fall. Shogun Mary is in The Harder They Fall. You look up a picture of Shogun Mary. She is not, or Shogun Mary, sorry. She is not a skinny, light-skinned, pretty woman. She was a big, black, hefty girl. and that's not appealing in Hollywood. That doesn't sell. So that's another reason why I do not think that he should be Jon Stewart. The brother's a good actor, not taking anything away from him. He's just not the right skin tone to be Jon Stewart. So find another character for him to be. But I damn guarantee you he's going to end up probably getting it if he really is. And this is coming from Hollywood Reporter. So this is not coming from the scoopers or anything like that. This is coming from a credible trade. So he really is on the table over at DC Studios to be. And if he does get it, bravo to him. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to moan about it. I will continue to say I don't think that a light-skinned brother should be Jon, but I think that he's a good actor, and things like that. And I don't want to take anything away from another brother or anything like that. But like I said, there are darker toned brothers out there that could be Jon Stewart. But this is what the Hollywood Reporter said. They said Aaron Pierre, star of Netflix thriller Rebel Ridge, the piano lesson actor Stephen James are in the mix to play fan favorite hero Jon Stewart. Multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter it is unclear if the pair are testing or reading, and sources say that the decision could be made by the end of the weekend. Damson Idris, and obviously it has not been made by the end of the weekend because this article was September 27th. Damson Idris, star of or maybe it was, and it just hasn't been revealed to the public yet. Damson Idris, star of FX's Snowfall, was on the short list, but is no longer in the contender or no longer in contention due to a scheduling conflict, according to sources. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually really glad that Damson's not in it anymore. Now, if Damson would have still been in it, I would have been happy with Damson getting Jon. But I'm still on the Damson recast T'Challa train. I still want Aldous Hodges as my top, but Damson is in my top 3 that I want to portray T'Challa in the MCU. I know some of y'all are against that, but hey, that's one of my picks for T'Challa. So with him not being on the list, that doesn't really bother me anymore. But they go on to say that Lanterns has a straight to series order at HBO and comes from high pedigree creators Chris Mundy. Not going through all these names, all these people, but it goes on to say Kyle Chandler landed the role of classic Lantern Hal Jordan after DC looked for a movie star to anchor the series. Josh Brolin was offered the part, but ultimately passed. Still, Chandler is a TV heavyweight, having won an Emmy for NBC's Friday Night Lights and earned a nomination for Netflix's Bloodline. He handedly fit the bill of a seasoned name to pair with freshly faced actors. Lanterns is said to have a gritty, true detective vibe and follows Hal Jordan as the reluctantly mentors a young Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. Stewart is a significant character for DC as one of the company's first black superheroes. Writer Dennis O'Neil and artist Neil Adams introduced him in 1971 Green Lantern's number 87, 12 years after Hal Jordan and the larger Green Lantern Corps mythos arrived on the scene. Now, as he moves to live action TV, Jon Stewart marks one of the biggest casting opportunities for young black actors this year. So that takes me back to, again, why he really should, because let's just look at this here. Let's look at this here. If we Google 1971's Green Lantern number 87, and you look at what color Jon was on the cover of this comic here, there is no reason that I'm sorry. Again, as I said, I would be happy for the brother because I don't want to take anything away from another brother. But at the same time, let's get this right. If this is DC's first black superhero, and as DC's first black superhero, let's get Jon right. Let's not only now. I love the fact that the series is already centered around Jon, but let's not stop there. Let's get his color right. Let's get the right actor to portray Jon, because this could be another thing where you have young black kids who have never heard of this character who could see themselves in Jon, who could see themselves in the Green Lantern or in regular Jon the pilot, or Green Lantern Jon, whatever it is. Like, if you go back and you look at the interview that Chadwick Boseman's brother did when he was talking about wanting the character, how he knows he would want Chad would have wanted the character recasted. He said that his nephew, after seeing the first Black Panther, film, his young nephew wanted to go on to be a scientist. He didn't want to go on to be a basketball player or a football player or anything else like that. Or not to say that those aspirations are bad, but he didn't want to go on to be the typical thing that you always hear that young black boys. Or he wanted to be a scientist, and he was inspired by seeing black folks on TV on the big screen that look like him in a Marvel movie. So yeah, let's get this right. Let's get his color right. Let's get again, I love the things we're hearing so far about it. It's centered around John. Hal's going to be there. It's going to be a murder mystery detective type deal. It sounds great. But let's make sure we get this right. This is the color that he was in 1971. Let's make sure that we get a brother in there that is dark skinned, just like John was in 1971. Again, I like Aaron, but I would have to choose if I'm choosing out of these two, I'm gonna have to go with Stephen. I'm gonna have to. So, but question as always is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Do you think does it matter? Are we putting too much into it? Should Aaron just go on and portray John and it just be that great of a series with him? Or should you have somebody come in like Damson Idris, somebody like John Boyega, somebody like Stephen James come in and portray accurately his color in the series? But let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Let's see. Raymond said he hates this list. Yeah, again, when I'm not. That's why I said if I had to choose between the two, I'm going with Stephen James. But he's not on my top at all for that. Raymond said he's never been a good actor. Damn, Professor Film Fan was agreeing. Let's see. Raymond also said, Jonathan Majors would have been yes, he would have been. Jonathan Majors would have been great for the Jon Stewart role. I believe that too. Let's see. Real Anarchy said, but Cyborg was always drawn darker, and they cast a lighter skinned brother on Justice League and did amazing. No, that's true. I mentioned that too earlier. I mentioned how Ray Fisher, he wasn't my pick or any pick of mine, but I don't think that Ray Fisher did a bad job at all in the role. And that's why I said Cyborg in the comics is typically darker, but they went with it. And so, it's not saying that Aaron would do a terrible job, because I don't believe he would at all. If we're going to keep it accurate, let's give it to a darker brother to go in there and play this role. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying you're saying this, but there's nothing wrong with having a darker brother on the screen. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see. Understanding said John should definitely have a darker skin, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you. Should definitely have darker skin. Raymond said, just like I love, I can't pronounce her name, but America Chavez. But the truth is, she should have been cast darker. How do you pronounce her name? I don't know how you pronounce her name either. Real Anarchy said, I could go with either. I just wanted a good black actor who can embody the role. Agreed. Raymond said, Ollie Shotlin from Bel Air could play Cyborg. Is that the dude that plays does he play Carlton? Is that who plays Carlton? Understanding said they still could use Majors. Dude shouldn't. No, they definitely could still use Majors. And what a move for DC, and bravo to James if they were to do that. But they could definitely still use Majors, and I think they should use Majors, because if Marvel already made that dig with Henry Cavill, we're gonna treat you better than those shits down the street. ... All right. then let us take Jonathan Majors and let us treat him better than those shits down the street. So they definitely could pick up Jonathan Majors. Let's see. Andre, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Okay, so that we will move to the next topic with that one down. And the next thing we're going to move to is going to be everything going on in Spider-Man with Knull. It was announced, obviously, that we thought for a while there that in Venom, that the villain itself was just going to be Toxin. Now, Toxin is going to be in the film with a couple of other symbiotes and everything like that. But Toxin is going to be in the film. But for a while, we all thought that the villain was going to be Toxin. Now, Alex over the Cosmic Circus had said back in April that it was going to be Knull. I saw that tweet from him because I have all those tweets that, come to my Twitter page and things like that. But I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that Knull was going to show up in Venom 3 just because there was nothing that Venom 1 nor 2 did to say, oh, yeah, Knull's coming. And maybe that was the point of it. But I don't believe that was the point of it. I also believe that this was a lot of this was thrown together at the end to kind of, add all of this into the MCU and how that's all going to fit. But that's kind of what Charles Murphy over at Murphy's Multiverse is talking about in this article. Some of the other things there that we do know for Knull, though, let's see, we have outside of, well, let me see what he's saying first. So let's see. As Sony prepares to take its Venom franchise for one last spin around the dance floor, rumors and reports have begun to emerge that suggest that the story of Tom Hardy's Eddie's Brock may continue in the MCU. After revealing that Knull, the terrifying villain of Venom: The Last Dance, was portrayed via motion capture by Andy Serkis, industry insider Daniel RPK shared the news that the character was set to appear in future projects down the road, with Sony having confirmed that the upcoming film will be the final installment in the Venom franchise. That has led to speculation that the character may be making the jump to the MCU. And I truly believe all of that. While it's purely speculative at this point, there's enough circumstantial evidence to allow for the possibility to be considered. Knull, also known in the comics as the King in Black, is an incredibly complex character, but what's important for the context of this potential crossover is that it is an eldritch, that he is an eldritch god who created the symbiote race of which Venom is a part of. After losing his connection to them for a time, Knull sought to regain control of them and take over the cosmos. As seen in the trailers for Venom: The Last Dance, Knull is sending creatures to Earth in search of symbiotes. And it could be assured that he's doing so to bring all of his children back to him. With a piece of the Venom symbiote having been left behind in the MCU, it's not too hard to imagine that Knull could be making his way there soon. It's interesting. He says it's interesting. The new news just ahead of the release of Venom: The Last Dance, and Sony and Marvel Studios began to prepare for production on Spider-Man 4. After recently undergoing a major overhaul and fourth installment in Tom Holland's lead Spider-Man franchise has reportedly shifted from featuring a street-level civil war to potentially featuring a multiversal story that could tie directly into Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Holland is reportedly set to play the leading role in both Avengers films and have a meeting with Hardy's Eddie Brock and a battle with Knull could work to put Peter Parker in the black symbiote suit that first debuted in Jim Shooter's 1984 crossover event Secret Wars, just in time for the 2027 MCU film of the same name. Now, before this last paragraph here, there were pictures of Tom Holland in doing something because he shot something for Marvel, rumored wise, secretly for Marvel. Now, there were pictures. Now, was that where he was going? Was it for Marvel? That is a mystery. We don't know. But there are pictures of him going to a studio to shoot something, and a lot of people are saying, a lot of the insiders are saying that was for Venom 3, where we will see in a post-credit scene Tom Holland Spider-Man show up and interact with Eddie Brock and Venom. Or Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Venom. So for me, where I didn't give a flying fuck, and you guys know, I gave zero shits about Venom. I still give zero shits about Kraven unless after Venom they go through and juice up Kraven somehow and do some Spider-Man shit with Kraven. I don't give a shit about Kraven. I have never seen Morbius. I will never see Morbius. I have never seen Madam Web, and I will never see Madam Web. If Sony continues to do the bullshit stuff that they were doing without Spider-Man, fuck you. I'm not involved. But the involvement of Knull, one, that puts me there. The possibilities that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to show up in a post-credit scene that's going to tie all of this to the MCU puts my ass in the seat. And then if you look at what Alex over at the Cosmic Circus was saying, let me make sure I have that pulled up correctly here. Alex over at the Cosmic Circus, go through my bookmarks, had said that there is the possibility that we are even going to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man show up in either Spider-Man 4. I think it's more so Spider-Man 4. Yeah, it's more so Spider-Man 4, not going to be for Venom 3, but in Spider-Man 4. And that was actually Cryptic HQ. That wasn't Alex over the Cosmic Circus. Cryptic HQ had said that there was the possibility that he was going to show up in Spider-Man 4. Because if you remember, in No Way Home, there was the line of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man saying, I wish I could fight an alien. And well, this is now going to be his chance to fight that alien, which is going to be Knull if they do the King in Black storyline and things like that. So there is that very strong possibility where I did not give a shit about Venom 3. You now have my interests for sure, especially if Tom Holland shows up in a post-credit scene. Then it goes on to say, the last paragraph, the level of collaboration between the two studios that would be required to make this sort of studio crossover is unprecedented, but also carries some potential incredible implications. While Marvel Studios recently had major characters from non-Marvel Studios production film appear in Deadpool and Wolverine, the studio had regained the rights to all of those characters. In the imagined scenario where Venom and Knull appear in the film set within the MCU, the studio would be using characters solely owned by Sony and would have no choice but to adhere to the prior storytelling that brought them to where they are. Of course, with the multiversal saga in the back half, it is now or never for such opportunity. Venom Last Dance comes into theaters October 25th, and I will be seated October 25th for Venom as well. I don't really care about the dancing that Venom's doing in the film. I'm here for Knull. I'm not here for the goofy shit that I've seen in the, like, don't get me wrong. I had fun with the first Venom film. The second Venom film with Carnage, it was rocky. So this was never on my most anticipated list. I was never looking forward to this or anything like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even know until Knull was announced. I didn't know this shit came out in October. I didn't know that because I wasn't checking for Venom 3 at all, because there was no Spider-Man. But if you're adding Knull, and now if Spider-Man is going to be in it in some type of capacity, I don't need Spider-Man to just be there the whole time. But if you do a post-credit scene and he shows up, I'm not there for the goofy shit with him dancing with Miss Chow at the casino and all that shit and the horse shit and the fish shit and all. I'm here for Knull and possibly Spider-Man. That is it. And the connections to the overall multiverse and how that this could possibly, what the implications mean for Spider-Man 4. That's what I'm here for. And I think Sony knew because these were reshoots and things that they were doing. I don't believe, even because, see, Alex said it back in April. maybe back in April is when back in April, that during that time is when they started having the whispers that they wanted to do the Knull stuff. And if you look at the timeline of it, that was around some of those reshoots and things that they were doing for Venom as well. They were doing a lot of reshoots for Venom because the test screenings, I don't believe, were doing too well. If I remember those rumors correctly, weren't doing too well. And on top of the test screenings not doing that well, your ending and what you had going on, people were like, that ain't it. So you had to go in and really juice this thing up and hype this up. And I'm so glad that Sony is somewhat, I guess, cooperating under what Marvel is doing and listening to Marvel Studios. I really wish they would just let Marvel take the reins on this whole thing. Instead of having Sony's input. But at the end of the day, these are Sony characters. And as I've said many times, for whoever told me the last time in our comments that no, Kingpin doesn't fall under that category, if it is a Spider-Man character, because that's what he told me. Kingpin is a Daredevil character. No. Kingpin was introduced in Spider-Man. I don't remember because I looked at. I don't remember what comic it was that he was introduced, but it was introduced in Spider-Man. Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain, a Spider-Man character. That is why, if you go look at what Vincent D'Onofrio was talking about when he was talking about the filming that he did with Netflix and how it's a little different than what he's doing with Marvel, he said there's a gray area that my character's in because he is still owned by Sony. So Sony still has the final say in anything that Marvel wants to do with any of these characters. That includes the villains. I mean, hell, if Marvel wanted to do a mini series, 3 minutes an episode, 9 episodes of Aunt May, they would have to go through fucking Sony to get permission to do that shit. Doesn't matter. If it's a character of Spider-Man, they got to get the permission. So seeing that, Sony is obviously still going to Sony and still going to have major control and everything like that, and they are getting what they wanted, another multiversal event. I just hope it doesn't. I hope they're letting Marvel again handle way more of the storytelling aspect of how this needs to connect to the multiverse and everything like that. So, but we'll see. And there's also the rumors or whatever. I think it's not confirmed, but the rumors that Tom Holland has signed on for 3 or 4 more Spider-Man films or things within the MCU as Spider-Man. So there's that as well. So we'll see how this is all going to play out. But this is exciting for me because I love the connections to the MCU and I love Spider-Man. I really, really do. One of my favorite Marvel characters, and I just want to see him face his villains. That's all. I just want to see Spider-Man face his villains. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But as always, questions for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Did you give a fuck about Venom before? Were you going to go see Venom before Knull was announced? Do you think that Spider-Man is actually going to possibly show up in a post-credit scene? Again, there is the symbiote piece that was left in No Way Home. That's got to come home at some point. Knull is a god-level being, and not to kind of backtrack on the closing here, but the level of god level being that Knull is to say Knull is a Thanos level threat is kind of an understatement to Knull, because Knull could wax Thanos, and it's not even really a competition because Knull is a god level being. Thanos is not a god. Knull is, and I'm talking comic level Thanos too. I'm not talking MCU Thanos. Knull's a god. He is a major threat to Spider-Man, and so how they do that and into the multiverse, with him learning about the multiverse in the MCU and things like that. So yeah, it could be a really big event in Spider-Man 4. So that is exciting for me. But again, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Let's see. Raymond said, I'm sorry. He said, I haven't seen either one of them. He said, I didn't watch Venom 2 and I don't plan on seeing Venom 3. You should watch Venom 3. I will say that. Where I wasn't, I'm telling you, you should watch it. If these things are true, if it does connect to the overall multiversal saga with Spider-Man, and if Tom Holland really does show up and things like that, Yeah, I think you should probably watch it. I think it would be good. Will said Marvel lucky Sony allowed them to stay independent long enough to make Blade. William also said Venom about to be a $2.5 billion franchise. And also said Ego was a threat above Thanos and almost destroyed everything in one movie. Yep, that's true too. That's true too. Raptor Cloak said Sony has been saying Spider-Man would cameo. Yep, since the first Venom. Unless Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland actually show up, I don't believe Jack from Sony. And that's true too. That's true too. That's why I said for me it's two factors. It's Knull and the possibility of Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man showing up, or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I don't think Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is showing up in this. I think more so Tom Holland Spider-Man in a post-credit scene. I think the rumor is Andrew is going to show up in Spider-Man 4. But I don't know. I do not think that he actually will show up. I have that hope. I really do. I have that hope. So we'll see. Black Panther said, I've been okay with the Venom movies. I like more that Tom seems to want to be there. Yeah, I do like I said, I like the first one, though the second Venom Carnage, Let There Be Carnage was rocky for me. I don't think they did Carnage that great either. But we'll see in this third one. William also said, I would have believed Miles was going to show up until Spider-Verse 3 was delayed. Yeah, and I think Spider-Verse 3 was also delayed, so it all fits into what they're trying to do with the multiversal saga. And if Sony really is, that the early rumors were that they were trying to do their Spider-Geddon event. So if they still are trying to do the Spider-Geddon event and then tie all of this into the multiversal saga that's going on with Secret Wars and things like that, maybe that's why Beyond the Spider-Verse, I mean, it's in the name, Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I think that's why it is being pushed back. So, but we will move here to the next and last. Now, this is where the spoiler warning comes on. If you do not want to be spoiled for Captain America Brave New World, now is your time to exit, because this is a spoiler warning. This is a plot leak. Now, this is grain of salt plot leak. It may not be real. This may be completely fake. William said, peace, y'all. This may be completely fake, but we are going to, of course, go over this plot leak here for what this could potentially be for Brave New World. So I'm going to give everybody a second. Okay, let's get into it. Now, before we get into this plot leak, I have heard that this plot leak sucks. Now, I only read some of it earlier because I didn't have the time to read the entire thing. But it's like I was telling everybody from the beginning. Not No Way Home, Brave New World was always going to be the deciding factor of where Marvel Studios currently is in the future of, whatever. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be, whatever, but it's going to set the tone. It's going to set the tone. We heard that when this was shown, I believe, what was it, at CinemaCon? A clip of it was shown, the 18-minute clip or 9-minute clip was shown at CinemaCon, that it gave people Winter Soldier vibes, the trailer that was shown or the clip that was shown. Well, people, even in my chat, were telling me that the trailer gave them Winter Soldier vibes. The trailer didn't give me Winter Soldier vibes. I have not felt Winter Soldier vibes since Winter Soldier. And I don't believe that I'm going to feel that in Brave New World. You also had Giancarlo Esposito during the entire, every time he talked about Marvel and his character, how his character was so badass and his character was this, his character was that. Turns out he's not that badass. He's just a guy running around with a gun, and he's still playing Sidewinder. Sidewinder is not an interesting character. And I'm going to be honest with you. Did I know who Sidewinder was? Was I privy to Sidewinder before seeing Giancarlo announce his playing him? Fuck no. I had to Google who Sidewinder was, and that wasn't an interesting read. So he's not an interesting character. And so that's an uninteresting character tied with the lead uninteresting character. So if there's that's two uninteresting aspects so far within this film. Though another uninteresting aspect in the film, it's a powerless Captain America, Sam Wilson, something we've talked about over and over and over. Well, Darius, he has the vibranium suit that Wakanda gave him. Okay, that's not enough. That's not enough. And again, so some of the things that we've talked about with this too is also just how everybody's been saying too. If you stop saying recast T'Challa, when you got a black man writing Anthony Mackie with Captain America, Sam Wilson about to debut in his own film, send the support his way. Okay. I have not been excited. Now, as Brave New World, am I interested? Am I curious? Am I very curious to see what Brave New World? Yes. Yes. So am I anticipating that aspect of it? Yes. Is my countdown happening for that? Yes. Do I want to be wrong? Would I love for Sam to come out and be like me, be like, yeah, I believe in Sam. Yes. Do I think Anthony Mackie's acting can do that? That's me personally. If you know me, you guys know I don't really give a shit about Anthony Mackie or his acting like that. No. But there are other aspects of this film that could possibly do that. So the plot leak starts saying that the movie was shown recently, unfinished VFX for the test audience. Here is the plot breakdown / review of the movie. The movie opens with Sam on a mission going after the Serpent Society. They were supposed to lead Sam and Joaquin to a buyer of the package, which the package is adamantium. And we know just from rumors and longtime rumors that the adamantium is going to be taken from Tiamat. That is going to be that's the celestial sticking out of the ocean there. Giancarlo Sidewinder, has some nuns hostage in Spout's very generic villain dialogue, secure the package, take no prisoners, etc. Sam fights Serpent Society dude with golden fang knives. The guy has super soldier strength, but Sam beats him before more soldiers arrive. Sidewinder gets away. Sam takes Joaquin to be trained by Isaiah Bradley, followed by a training montage with Sam and Joaquin and Isaiah throwing around punching bags. Sam is invited to the White House. He decides to bring Isaiah and Joaquin, and they party in a limo on the way to the White House. They take a picture with the president, Harrison Ford. Harrison tells Isaiah, I gotta do the trick. I'm sorry. Harrison Ford tells Isaiah, I got to do the trick in Pony Show, but stick around and I want to get to know you better. Ross and Sam meet up and he tells him, I need you to lead the Avengers. I need you to lead the Avengers. Sam goes, what if we don't see eye to eye? Ross replies, then we will figure that out together, which is something we saw in the trailer. Then he says, Ross is almost assassinated by Isaiah Bradley, as well as other mind-controlled soldiers and security guards in the room. And that's something we saw in the trailer. That's something we heard in the synopsis that was shown from CinemaCon as well. But I think they take out, I don't know if it's been taken, it was taken out of the trailer. I don't know if it's been taken out of the film. It was taken out of the trailer due to the attempt assassination of Donald Trump, 45. So they took that scene out of the trailer. I don't know if it's also taken out of the movie as well. So, but it was taken out of the most recent trailer. Then it goes on to say, Sam chases Isaiah out into the streets where Isaiah comes to and doesn't know where he is. He is arrested. Sam and Joaquin look at the security footage inside the White House and see that Isaiah looks down at his phone and is hypnotized by flashing lights. Later sees that other soldiers and security guards in the room also got some flashing lights on their phone lights. Okay, could have just said some flashes on their phone lights. Sorry. Then it goes on to say Sam and Joaquin decide to get to who is behind all of this and to come across Tim Blake Nelson as the leader with a weird molded on brain shaped rubber cap and slightly green skin. The leader has been visited by Ross many times because Ross was dying and turned to the leader to help him, which in turn causes him to Hulk out. If his blood pressure raises. Ross has to eat lollipops as a form of medication, I think, and that is something we also learned in the trailer too. Well, not in the trailer. Sorry, that is something that was put into rumors and things like that. That Ross had to. I think he says in the trailer, doesn't he? Doesn't he have a sucker in the trailer? I believe he does, to stop from smoking. Then it goes on to say Ruth, and that was going to be Sabra, starts to take Isaiah Bradley into containment after another mind control attempted assassination in a prison. He goes, "I will not be locked up in a box again." Ruth decides to also track down breadcrumbs leading to Stims, the leader, where she comes across and very briefly teams up with Sam and Joaquin. They go to Stark Technologies where they meet. I'm sorry, there's something going on outside that's distracting me. Sorry. They go to Stark Technologies where they meet Amadeus Cho, who is the smartest engineer there. And these rumors were put out today after this leak came out. I don't know where they found this actor, but he is not good at all. Sam says something about Pepper, but we never see her. President Ross is bunkered down away from danger and is trying to get the world leaders to agree on a peace treaty and is having trouble with Japan getting on board after Japan thinks America robbed it of its adamantium or something along those lines. This leads to Torres and Wilson getting up with Ross after this leads with Torres and Wilson meeting up with Ross as American battleships and Japanese battleships fight with each other in a big set piece near the Hand of Tiamat in the Indian Ocean. Big CGI field action scene that ends with Torres falling out of the air into the water, but then rescued by a medic. As Torres is in the hospital recovering, Bucky swings by to check on Sam, makes a speech, jokes about how it was written, then says he has a fundraiser to get to and nopes the fuck out of the movie. Then it says Ross finds out he is being set up by Stearns to make Japan and the other world leaders not want to work with him because of reasons, something to do with the Serpent Society stealing adamantium or something. IDK, it wasn't very clear. Oh, that's not good. But Ross goes to press the conference at the White House where all of a sudden the leader vaguely portrayed mind control sounds start playing through the speaker, eventually causing Harrison to Hulk out. Sam meets the leader, who admits his evil plan and thinks Sam will die because he's not Steve Rogers. Sam says, "I love to prove people wrong." I can definitely see that. Sam shows up to the scene with Rolk. Why do they call him that? And the two tear up the White House. And it's probably that scene in the trailer where the White House is blowing up, as the camera's going. They eventually start hashing it out and fight, and the fight culminates with Sam stabbing one of his wings into Ross's side, which causes him to transform back into Harrison, but he's all scratched up, doesn't have the invulnerability that Hulk has. Then it says Ross is locked up in the raft and told by Sam, "How does it feel to be locked up?" Ross is like, "Well, at least I'm safe." And they made a point to have Sam literally say to President, "Thank you for taking accountability for your own actions and turning yourself in voluntarily." Where Ross is then met by his daughter Betty, and oh boy, does Liv Tyler look botched the hell up. Oh no. Sam visits Torres in the hospital. They joke about Torres being from Miami and visiting Wakanda to get new wings. Okay. Mid credit scene. Sam visits the leader in the raft. Mentions something about giving Hulk juice to Amadeus Cho. The Stearns goes, something big and bad is coming, and Sam is like, "I'll be ready." That's it. No one else shows up. I don't know if it's referring to Doctor Doom or an incursion or what the leader is supposed to be, all knowing, but they did a weak job portraying that. No payoff for Isaiah's story either. No payoffs for the supposed Avengers team that Sam was supposed to form. Oh, really? No payoff, or then it goes on to say, not enough scenes between Sam and Joaquin to establish the relationship and make us feel any kind of attachment towards them. The leader's goals were vague, and his methods of doing what he was doing even vaguer. If played, or it played across like CW version of DC's Brainiac, only worse somehow. Oh no. Actress who played Ruth didn't bring anything to the character, felt like she was only in the movie because they needed a Black Widow type of character, but ultimately she added nothing. Mackie and Harrison are good, but Harrison hulking out was unintentionally hilarious. Definitely the highlight of the entire movie. Sam, with only vibranium cap, shield, and wings, withholds multiple heavy hits from Red Hulk. This is what we were talking about. This is why I said, how are you having this power? That's how I said they were going to depower the Red Hulk somehow, because you can't have a powerless man go against the Red Hulk. It just doesn't make sense. It's no different than what we're about to see in the Thunderbolts with Sentry. He is not going to be the Sentry that we're used to. He is going to be depowered because he's going against a bunch of fucking morons. So it's the same thing here. It says Sam with only vibranium cap, shield, and wings, withholds multiple heavy hits from Red Hulk that would absolutely destroy his body, considering his suit was not vibranium, and Sam still ain't got no super soldier serum. He would be a broken, bloody pulp after Red Hulk full force punches him multiple times, and not even cracked a rib on Sam's part. Yeah. Serpent Society was pretty much non-existent in the movie, but we heard that they were kind of getting nixed anyway. Maybe total of 5 to 7 minutes of the film was developed to them. Them being big, strong dudes with golden fang knives and Sidewinder. No other members shown. Sadly, Giancarlo Esposito is offered very little to do. He had more to do in Megalopolis, which is saying something. Haven't seen that. Then it says, overall, halfway decent movie, not bad, not good, entertaining for the most part, but feels like it's just repeating plot points from both The Winter Soldier and Civil War, making the entire story feel way too safe, predictable, and by the numbers, whole thing plays out and feels very much like something that belongs on Disney Plus. Harrison Ford being the one aspect that makes it belong in cinemas, and some of the action is pretty good. The fact that Harrison Ford is the thing that makes it feel like it belongs in cinemas and not your leading character, not your leading actor in Anthony Mackie. This is why I said I've been saying Anthony Mackie's not a leading man. He's not. He doesn't have what it takes to put asses in a seat. Yeah. Then it says awkward pacing that could be cleaned up by the time the final version comes out, but the story feels a bit too derivative in other Cap movies. Zemo framing Bucky is like Stearns framing Isaiah. Sam and Joaquin on the run in a truck drive to an underground bunker like Nat and Steve and which one is that? Oh, the Winter Soldier. Sorry. Then it says air battle at Tiamat's similar to climax in The Winter Soldier. Hulk / Captain America fight was teased the entire movie, only for it to last about 5 minutes. Only cameos were Betty, Bucky, and Adamas Cho. Movie never really showed us why Sam is Captain America or why he should continue to lead the Avengers. And this is why I have been saying this film has a lot to do. You have to, one, convince the audience that a powerless Sam Wilson can lead a team full of powerful individuals. And I've seen people saying, "Oh, well, Cap did it," and the difference again. Steve Rogers had the serum. Sam does not. And as they said up there earlier in the quote or the paragraph, they had to nerf Red Hulk in order for Sam to stand a chance in the battle. So how many battles are going to get nerfed that Sam's a part of because he has to look good as Captain America? And then how are they convincing us that this man is even Captain America? Because I'm still not even convinced that he is. Now, for the title intensive purposes, sure, give him the title, but does he feel like Captain America in the MCU? No. No, he does not feel like a leader of the Avengers or that he's going to lead a team or anything like that. Nothing at all. I don't have that feeling with Sam Wilson. So if this is true, this synopsis of this film, there was nothing in this that moved the needle for me to want to go see this. The only thing, again, like they said, that the best thing of the film is him hulking out, is the 5-minute battle between Sam and Hulk, the Red Hulk. Oh, and there's the rumors of the post-credit scene from Daniel RPK. Daniel RPK is saying that one of the post-credit scenes is also going to set up World War Hulk. And I think that's the one up here where he was talking to Red Hulk on the raft. So, I don't know. We will see. It's really unclear exactly what this film is going to be, but it does come out in February. I'm glad that we have another another Marvel film that comes out in October in Venom 3, because that now is kind of juiced up and going to somewhat seemingly be exciting. So I'm excited for that. But then right after that, we do have this in February. So, but as always, like I said, question is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about this plot leak. For, again, grain of salt, this could be completely fake, completely false, or anything like that. I have a hard time believing that it is, because there's a lot of themes that have just lined up with a lot of the plot leaks from over the months and over the year. And not only that, but also lines up with some of the things that we've seen in the trailer. So, and some of the things from the 9-minute synopsis from the CinemaCon that was shown there. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about this synopsis for Captain America 4, Brave New World. Chill said he'll hear the spoilers because he's not interested in the film. Andre said, I don't believe Cap 4 will help save the MCU. Kevin said Captain America Brave New World will be a success. Well, we will see. Raptor Cloak said they should have used Diamondback from Luke Cage and his real powers. That'd be an interesting fight for Captain Falcon. Andre said, sounds like a mess. Chill said, remember when Falcon / Winter Soldier had to change the plot because the real life pandemic? Malcolm Spellman in the yes is the future is a future predictor. Yes, they did have to change that because of you're bringing that up because of the shooting, I believe. Then Raptor said, oh yeah, this smells like Nate Moore writing front to back. Understanding said Liv did her thing in that Hulk movie, best Hulk movie out. It is the best one. The campus scene is chef's kiss to me. I love the campus scene where he hulks out for the first time and fucks them up. That was dope. I like that scene. Really like that scene. Yeah, Cornelius, live on a Friday, because I missed Monday and Wednesday. Well, I was supposed to be live on Monday and Wednesday, but I missed Monday and Wednesday. Namikaze said, so Red Hulk doesn't have his flames whack. This is my profile, or my problem rather, with the MCU. They're making these characters that are actually cool look really lame. This movie sounds like a mess. Yeah, but it was always the question of how is he going against Red Hulk? How do you do that? Like, how does a powerless Sam go against Red Hulk? Tyrone said, why are we doing Red Hulk with no Betty Ross and regular Bruce? That too. Chill said, I better not see TJ when they do the Wakanda scene. Andre said, let's hope they reshoot at last minute. Tyrone also said, yeah, why are we replacing Diamondback with a female when we got one in Luke Cage? Probably saying different universes, probably. Sam Cap. Well, no, that's the same Daredevil, is it not? Sam Cap should have been about him building the Avengers. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing too. That was one of the rumors, is that he was supposed to build a small team of Avengers in this film, but I guess that's not happening now. To help him combat Red Hulk, but I guess it's not happening now. So, yeah. So that is what's going on in Captain America 4. If that plot is to be believed, and I really do believe a lot of that in there. I really do, if not all of it, because again, it just lines up with a lot of the plots and leaks and things from over the past year and a half for this stuff, and some of the stuff in the trailer, the 9-minute synopsis from CinemaCon. It just all lines up, and I really do believe that this is what we're going to see. I especially believe this 5-minute part on the fight. The CGI for Red Hulk or whatever they needed to do would probably cost them a lot. Who knows when the Amadeus Cho thing is actually going to play or pay off? Probably not for a while. Not for a while. The next time we actually probably see him actually Hulk out, like it'll be a while. It'll be a while. So yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, it didn't move the needle for me personally. It didn't make me say, man, I cannot wait to see this or anything like that. It is a film that I will see in February, but I am very curious to see in February. Very curious for this one. So we will see exactly what is going on with that. Green TV said, can't lie, I checked out when they killed T'Challa and tried to ruin the seed Chadwick planted. I believe the dynamics of this movie were more intentional than we think. Oh, yeah, no, I completely agree with you, brother. Completely. Namikaze said, we're about 1.5 years from Doomsday and 2 years from Secret Wars. I want to know what about this movie leads into any of those movies, right? When they will assemble the new Avengers, and how will they? Even know of the threat that is coming. Yeah, no, I agree with you there too. That's been my whole thing too. It's been like things and projects that they're doing that aren't taking us to the overall multiversal saga, Secret Wars, Avengers 5 and 6. I'm not interested in. That's why, not to say that I'm not having fun with Agatha. It's interesting. They were fun. It's been this last episode. It was like it was fun. Fine. Okay. I have no expectations for Agatha, so I have nothing, whatever. But I don't care because it's not taking us to the multiversal saga. Now, the stuff that it's going to connect to with Wanda and all that kind of stuff like that, there are still elements of that I'm still interested into, but the overall multiversal saga does not connect to that. It's not doing anything for that. Cornelius said they're only bringing in Amadeus Cho because everyone said the actor that was originally cast as Sentry should have been cast as him. Tyrone also said the all new, all different Marvel are just diversity props that nobody liked. I checked out then. IDK why they are skipping stuff and bringing in the mess they made by bringing in the old Ultimate stuff besides Black Nick. Not Again 90 said, excited for this movie, but it's not on my must-see list. I'll check it out eventually once it's released. I just don't trust MCU with Black leading characters in Marvel. No, I completely agree, brother. I agree on that. There are some other little things here from just other things that have been talked about throughout like Nova. Nova was discussed. Blade, I'm sorry, I did have that on that list too. Blade was discussed. The Blade topic I'm turning into its own video, so I'm gonna nix Blade because it's its own thing. Doctor Strange 3 was discussed, so let me go to Nova. Now, I don't know why everybody is getting excited or trying to even act like this is real for Nova, but Kevin Feige, not 3 months ago, just said that anything that they are doing for Nova is at least 3 to 4 years out. They've talked about Nova. Even Brad Winterbaum has said, he wants Nova, They've all talked about it. But he's also said that over at Marvel Studios currently, they are producing way more than they are releasing. So just because, I don't know where this rumor is coming from. Production lists. And so, production lists, They know when things are going on and things like that, but I just don't believe that Nova's coming anytime soon, especially to already have certain people casted, like Shola Manadiana and whoever the dude is that they wanted playing Richard. So, but the synopsis for it is: in the wake of Annihilus, Nova, the human rocket, stands on the front lines of cosmic adventure as the last of the Nova Corps and our only hope against threats from the furthest reaches of the Marvel universe. So that implies that obviously Annihilus was going to, or is going to, possibly show up or be the main villain of it. Sholo Maladiana is rumored to be Sam Alexander, Tanner Gilman, and let me go to the pictures of these individuals here. Tanner Gilman, okay, because if I press back on, oh, it did that. Oh, it's over here. Why did it do that? This kid here is rumored to be playing Richard Ryder. But Alex over at the Cosmic Circus said, take all of this with a very big pinch of salt. He said he's not heard anything about this. Daniel RPK debunked it and said it's false as well. Said he hasn't heard anything about any of this either. But like I said, Kevin Feige just said it's 3 to 4 years out. So I don't think that Nova's on the table anytime soon. Do I think Nova is something they are going to do? Yeah. Soon? No, I don't think so. I don't think. And if they do, cool. But I don't think so. Something else that was on here was, again, Doctor Strange 3. Rumored wise right now, and this is coming from, was it Daniel? No, sorry, Jeff, is that Sam Raimi is reportedly in talks to direct Doctor Strange 3. Quickly, how do y'all feel about that? How do you feel about Sam Raimi coming in to direct Doctor Strange 3 after Doctor Strange 2? Multiverse of Madness is not a favorite for a lot of people because it's a lot of people. I will tell you, it's not a Doctor Strange film. It's a Wanda film. I enjoyed Doctor Strange 3 because I really am a big fan of WandaVision. I loved how it continued that. I think it should have been done in Doctor Strange. No. But seeing that arc and things for Wanda really being the Scarlet Witch, I really did like. So, but Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is not one that I really loved like that. I loved Wanda, but didn't really love the film itself. But I do like Sam Raimi. I don't have an issue with Sam. We also have to remember too, with a lot of these things, well, with all these things with Marvel, just because Sam is coming in to direct, he is a director, but he has a say, but he has to do it in the way that Marvel wants to do it. So Multiverse of Madness was a story that Marvel and Michael Waldron wanted to tell at the time that Michael Waldron was still one of the lead writers over there. So you got what you got. It's not any fault of Sam Raimi. So I don't have an issue with Sam Raimi coming back for Doctor Strange 3 at all. I think that especially if it's supposed to be a film that takes place in between Avengers 5 and 6 or before Secret Wars, which would possibly make it a Battle World film, you're going to need Sam Raimi to kind of pull on some of those darker tones and things like that. It is going to be a doomsday, no pun intended. So yeah, I think it'd be fine to have him coming back. They also said that Doctor Strange 3 and Spider-Man 4 will both take place between Avengers Doomsday and, like I said, and Secret Wars. So that's why I said a Battle World film, because it's rumored right now that Spider-Man 4 is going to be a Battle World film. Same thing with possibly the Doctor Strange 3 film, a Battle World film. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see as more comes out for Doctor Strange 3. There's the World War Hulk rumors. After reshoots, the ending and end credits scenes for Captain America: Brave New World will reportedly set up World War Hulk project. And that's been rumored for a long time. World War Hulk, is it going to happen? Who knows? A lot of people hating Joker 2. A lot of people hating the Joker 2. Not a lot of people are having a good time with that one at all. this is what the Geeky Cast said over the plot leak that we just read. According to some people reaching out, there are 2 different Brave New World films shown at different screenings. The horrible plot leak came from the green version. So there is hope that that is not the film that we are going to see. So who knows? There were some things talked about with Vision Quest as well. There was one thing that they talked about. Hold on. This is coming from Phase Zero. It just says Vision Quest will pick up after the events of WandaVision. We've talked about that. We know that it's a part of the little throuple that they're doing with it. But there was something else that was said with this. Hold on. And it was... the Vision series, Vision Quest, will be centered around the search for Tommy Maximoff Speed, which we kind of knew that already because they're using the same name that they're using in WandaVision, Teen. Emmanuel, appreciate that. E-Man, thank you, E-Man, for the super chat, where he said, keep up the great work, bro. Y'all make sure to support the channel. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that, E-Man. It means so very much. So thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate you popping in. So yeah, so on the Vision on Vision Quest, they are going to be searching for Tommy, which is something we kind of already knew just from, again, leaks and rumors, grain of salt. But they said that they had the same name for Tommy in the script and things, or on the production list as Teen, like they do for Joe Locke's character in Agatha. So it's possible that, I mean, that's really what they're going to be doing. I mean, Tommy's got to show up at some point in time. There was something else though that they said that they were looking at doing right now. Let me go back up. Did I not share that? Save that. Thought I did. That they wanted to do another spin-off of WandaVision, centered around Billy and Tommy. And at this point, stop. No more. There doesn't need to be any more. After Vision Quest and Wonder Main, there doesn't need to be any more spin-offs of WandaVision, unless it's just going to be the Scarlet Witch film that is rumored, I guess, to be taking place before Secret Wars, if that's even possible. How they're fitting all this shit in between Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday, I'm not sure. With the films not far off in the release dates, unless Secret Wars eventually gets pushed back. But that's a lot. It's a lot. A lot of spin-offs of WandaVision. No more spin-offs of WandaVision. I think you wrap it up with the Scarlet Witch movie. No more spin-offs. Did you see though too that Henry Gyrick is going to be black? He is going to be black in Thunderbolts. So he's rumored to be played by Wendell Pierce, and Wendell Pierce plays in I was introduced to Wendell in Waiting to Exhale. Yeah, I was introduced to Wendell in Waiting to Exhale. So, but he is going to be portraying, possibly is rumored to be portraying Henry Gyrick in Thunderbolts. So he will be that character, possibly. Let's see, what else did I have saved? Have you seen all of this? Now this has been interesting, interesting aspect in Agatha as well, trying to figure out exactly who Rio is, Aubrey Plaza's character is. Now this is a conversation, I guess, that was being had between who and who, I'm not sure, but these are the Funko Pops that are being released here that are going to come out of the Agatha series. And as you see, Wiccan is one of them. And for everybody that was coming in and telling me in the comments and telling me on Twitter that you all believed that Joe Locke was going to be Nicholas Scratch and that he was going to be Agatha's son. No. This is not. It may be an Agatha show, and it may tell us some shit about Agatha, but the overall show is about its connections back to Wanda. It's pieces to Wanda. It's pieces to fixing WandaVision and getting Wanda back to her kids and everything like that. It might be an Agatha show. You might be on the Witch's Road. You might be learning more about Agatha and things like that. But Joe Locke was never anybody but Wiccan, ever. Ever. He was only ever Wiccan. So seeing that the Funko Pops have kind of confirmed that, and then you look over here at this Funko Pop, and it is obviously Rio. It's Aubrey Plaza's character, and they've got death under it. There have been a lot of people like Rob over at Comics Explained who has been saying for a while, he put out that video saying that he really thought that he was Lady Death. And my biggest question just really was, why does Death want to hang out? Like, what does Death want with Agatha? With with a bunch of witches on the witches road. I mean, Death is a cosmic being. What is it that Death is wanting with this character, with these characters? So it's pretty interesting if she is that character. And she even told Agatha in the last episode, he's not your child. And the realization of that to Agatha, because Agatha, to like a lot of you, even believed that, oh, this is my son, possibly. So, no. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff there with that. If she really is playing her, it's going to be interesting to see if she turns in, if they actually do the look of Death like she looks in the comics and things like that. Be our first time seeing her in live action, so be interesting. Again, I have no expectations for Agatha. I'm just along for the ride. I will say this: I did not enjoy that version of the Ballad of the Witch's Road. I liked the version they sung to get into the road. That one was okay. I preferred the other version of it though. But it was a fine episode. No expectations. Having fun with it. This is something we've heard about for a while too. If you're in the leaking in the rumor area, you guys have heard me talk about it. I think we even have a video up from like maybe a year and a half or so ago talking about it. And it's back on the table. Marvel still wants to do a Silver Surfer project. Matt Shakman will produce the project. And this is coming from Daniel RPK. He says Matt Shakman's going to produce it, and it is something on the table that Marvel Studios is wanting to do. I kind of believe it. It's not going to be Norman or Norn Rad that's going to be in the Fantastic Four film. It's going to be the female version of Silver Surfer, but that does not mean that somewhere out there in another universe, in our main universe, we don't have our Norrin Rad. So maybe that is where this Silver Surfer project comes from for Matt Shakman. But I do believe it. I mean, do I think it's something that's maybe coming soon? No, I mean, but I do believe it. This is it. Marvel is reportedly developing a new Disney Plus series that focuses on finding the Scarlet Witch's other son. Oh, that's the Vision Quest. Wait, is that Vision Quest? Other son, Tommy Shepard / Speed. It will serve as a direct follow-up sequel to what? Yeah, that's Vision Quest. So I don't know why Daniel kind of worded that as if this is like a new. That would just be Vision Quest, unless they are really developed. No, that's Vision Quest because Tommy's supposed to be. Okay, so that's just Vision Quest. We talked about Andy Serkis. This is something to the reader. The community comments on this notes were funny. This is Marvel updates. They are not to be trusted at all. None of these scoopers are to be trusted, but Marvel updates, you put them at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. They said in the Nova series, we will be shown how Thanos gets the Power Stone from Xandar. The community note said, nothing is known about the Nova series as of October 2nd, 2024. The series is still in early development. Thanos getting the Power Stone has not been confirmed for the show. User Marvel Updates is known to spread misinformation for attention and clicks. Avoid this account. So, yeah, no. I mean, I don't think would Thanos probably be mentioned? Likely. Would they waste the CGI and the money on, Thanos, showing Thanos destroying? They didn't even want to show us Thanos fighting the Illuminati. They just had him sprawled out, because that's a good enough, this budget of having a CGI Thanos getting the Power Stone from Xandar for just one scene. I don't see that. He'll probably be mentioned though. Let's see. What else did I have? This, yeah. The Otis Redding biopic film. I love biopics. Love biopics. You guys know that I've said that so many times. And John Boyega and Danielle Deadweller. She's the one that played. She played Emmett Till's mother in the Hulu film, or Hulu series rather, that they did for Emmett Till. But John Boyega and her are going to have been casting Otis Redding. As Otis Redding and his widow, Zelma Redding, in the new biopic Otis and Zelma. So I am pretty excited to see this one. I had to sing, obviously growing up all black church, growing up in the choir, children's choir, things like that. I was one of the leads on the praise and worship team, and it was a play we did. I forgot some type of, if you grew up in a black church, Easter, we did a play and you had a speech. Christmas, we did a play and you had a speech. Halloween, we had Hallelujah night. We did a little Bible study. Got some candy. All of those. So for one of my speeches or something, I had to sing an Otis Redding song. But yeah, excited for this. I love biopics, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then there's this one too. It's Jonathan, another film that Jonathan Majors is in. It's a magazine dream starring Jonathan Majors, will release in theaters during the first quarter of 2025. Exile Scooper had said this about it and said, "We are in for something special. I have yet to hear a single negative review of this film, and each review I've read highlights Major's performance. Early reviews from Sundance compared it to an even darker version of The Taxi Driver and Joker, but set around the world of bodybuilding." So go support this. Go support Jonathan Majors. The more support he has on films outside of outside of the MCU stuff, the more likely. I still don't think he's coming back to the MCU. I think that ship has sailed. But for him to get other roles and with possibly within DC, I think that should be where he would aim. First of all, I've said this too. I wouldn't want to go back to my employer that fired me at all. At that point, I'm walking on eggshells with you guys. I feel like I have to be a different person, and we have a different relationship now. Like, why do I want to go back to the people that fight? No. So want better for Jonathan Majors. Don't want him as Kang. That's fine that he portrayed. He did he showed his ass with in his portrayal of Kang. But want better for Jonathan Majors with Marvel than Marvel Studios. Want better for Jonathan Majors than trying to petition him back as Kang the Conqueror. I would not want to go back to my employer that fired me, and you shouldn't want him to go back either. For him to get treated, if we are to believe some of the things that's and I do believe that when Bo DeMeo speaks about how he was treated about this and this and that, it's just convenient how he wants to use his blackness now. But I do believe it. So I wouldn't, with how they treat black folks and black talent and actors and writers and whatever else over at Marvel Studios, I wouldn't want better for Jonathan. So yeah, let's not petition that, but hopefully all of these things and things that he's doing right now can get him back on track to doing bigger and better things in Hollywood. So there's this rumor from my time, and it's not new at all. The Rock, if this is true, Marvel potentially wanting The Rock to be Apocalypse. I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. I don't want Rock as the Apocalypse. I just don't. Would it be that bad? Probably not. Does Rock have the build? He does. Could he? I don't think it'd be that, because honestly, I will tell you this. Everybody was talking about, his acting before Black Adam was like, his black acting's not going to be good. I didn't think his acting in Black Adam was bad. I didn't at all. I didn't think Black Adam was bad. I had fun with Black Adam. The plot, that kid, but I didn't. Black Adam wasn't that bad. But could he do Apocalypse? Yeah, possibly he could, but nah, I don't know if I'd want that personally. There was this, we talked about this last night. This is not canon to the DCU. This is its own thing that Matt Reeves and James Gunn are going to be producing. It's going to be following Dick Grayson and Jason Todd as Orphan Thieves. They call themselves the Dynamic Duo. It will use a mix of animation, puppetry, and CGI. So we'll see what that is going to be like. If I'm James Gunn, though, I kind of would have waited to make this announcement until I had something tangible to show the audience of some sort. I don't know. It's just a lot that we're announcing and doing right now over at DC with little to show to a lot of it. This was interesting too. Don't know how to pronounce his last name. His first name is Gindy. Says that he had pitched an animated Marvel series to Kevin Feige back in the late 2000s that would have been similar to his Clone Wars style series. They weren't interested, but it led into him working on Iron Man 2. This could have been interesting because this micro series was great. This came out when I was in the fifth grade. This was great. I remember this. I remember the very first episode, though, was only like 5 minutes on Cartoon Network. And I remember the next day at school, we were all like, why was it 5 minutes? And like it was great. Like this whole micro series, when you watch it all together, it is the original Clone Wars. It was great. It was preparing us for revenge at that time, was it not? Yes, it was preparing us for revenge. Yeah, because it came out after episode 2, and then it was getting us ready for Revenge of the Sith. Yes. Because it ends. Yeah, it ends at Revenge of the Sith actually too. So yeah, it would have been cool. Would have been cool to see. If anybody in the comments really cares about me, this is the most accurate figure of Anakin I have ever seen. And that's because it's not American made. But this is the most accurate figure of Anakin. I don't have a figure of Anakin besides episode 2. And I have a episode 2 figure of him that I will never take out of the box. But this one, that looks like him. Looks like him. It works. Love it. Let's see what else. Some of the scrap concept stuff that came out from some of it I've seen, but some of it I hadn't seen. For what would have been Endgame, some of the stuff in Endgame and Infinity War, Hulk fighting Thanos would have been one. A better fight between him and Thanos, Hulk busting out of the Hulk Buster would have been one. Giancarlo, I don't really be trusting shit this man says anymore. He just be talking. Giancarlo Esposito thinks Disney will put the Mandalorian. We all know this. Mandalorian and other characters in one big project. Yeah, that's what it's all culminating to. One of the newest rumors for my Star Wars fans out there is that we're going to see Cal Kestis in live action. It's possible. It's possible that we might. I don't think it needs to be its own. Well, yeah, Cal is a character where it's you kind of fell in love with Cal after Fallen Order, and then you fell in love with him more after Jedi Survivor. He's kind of like an Ezra. Ezra's one of my favorite new characters. I really love Ezra. I really do. Now, not the live action Ezra. I haven't really gotten akin to yet, but the animated Ezra, I really do love him. I really love that character, and I hated that character at the beginning, just like I hated Ahsoka at the beginning, but I really love both of those characters. Cal is one of those characters that he really does deserve to shine in a spotlight, not to be overshadowed by anybody else, and I don't think that you could do that because he's just so loved within Star Wars fandom. So I believe that he will show up in all of those things, and they are doing the MCU trying to fit, a big Star Wars is, it's not even, I don't even want to say they're doing the MCU thing. Star Wars has been poetry. Star Wars has been connection and everything rhyming and a rhythm. That has been what George has set out for Star Wars to be. It's poetry, it rhymes. So this before Marvel connecting their cinematic universe and all that, Star Wars was doing the canonical things and connecting things and for it to rhyme. So yeah, no, I always believe this. This was always what it was supposed to be. Thrawn is the big threat right now. Thrawn is coming back into the New Republic and into the known galaxy. So he is going to be the threat. So all of these pieces, these working pieces that we've seen building up to this thing is now going to help take down Thrawn. So yeah, I definitely do believe that. Let's see. Oh yes, this too. This was interesting to me. Star Wars fans. Um, George Lucas has 3 more movies worth of unreleased footage from the Star Wars prequel trilogy. That is crazy. That is crazy. So it's like and personally, I would love to see the. I have, and I don't think I can react to it on like even in an edited reaction. I don't think I can do it, but I have a version of Revenge of the Sith that is that someone edited together. I don't know that person personally, but they edited it together and they sent it to me because it's amazing. But they've got some Clone Wars series in it. It's got it all lines up. The micro series is in it from and at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, for all my Star Wars fans, at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, it opens with Grievous already having Palpatine and kidnapped him. In the micro series, in the 2D series, you see how Grievous captured Palpatine and why Grievous has the coughing issues that he has. It's because Mace Windu crushed that windpipe. So you don't see any of that in the movies, but I have a version that plays all of that together in order, and it is fucking beautiful. It's magnificent. It's long, but it is magnificent. I wish I could react to that and do but I don't even think I can in an edited version. I think that shit would get ding ding dinged. But it's really dope. Let's see. Let's see what else is on here. That might be really it. I know a lot of people were saying that they thought that once again Jordan Peele was going to be doing Blade because Mahershala Ali followed him on Instagram, so that led people to think that he was doing Blade. No, not doing Blade. Yeah, that's it. Because now we're back into the Thunderbolts trailer and Kyle Chandler getting cast as Hal, and it's a good some good fan art. Yeah. So yeah, that's it though. That is what I've got for us tonight. I will read some of these comments really quickly. When I paused, that was because a friend of mine is one of my best friends lives across the street from me and is kind of going through it and kind of needs me. So read through some of these comments here. Tyrone said the micro series came out when I was in the 3rd grade. Yeah, I believe I was in the 5th grade when that came out. I was in 5th. Yeah. Because I was in 5th grade when Revenge came out. So yeah, I was in the 5th grade. Puma said Rock fits the role. He does. Like I said, he fits the role as far as building things like that. Just acting wise, do I want him to be not that I need Apocalypse to do the sophisticated ass philosophical speeches either, because that's just not really him. So maybe. Pam said Jason Momoa as Apocalypse. Everybody said no, ma'am. Let's see. Pam also said, why was The Rock considered? Because he was the Scorpion King? Maybe. Let me see. I'll go back up because it looks like there was some other lots of comments. Yeah. Thank you for that. E too. I see somebody, John C, telling E paying it forward. We definitely appreciate it, E. We definitely appreciate it. It means a lot. So we'll start about there. Last of my kin said, I watched episode 4 of Agatha, but I can't say that I actually watched it. Am I the only one? I watched it. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I watched it, but at the same time, like I said, I'm not looking for anything in Agatha, so I'm not really, I mean, I'm there, but I'm not there like I use this as an example all the time, like I was with WandaVision. I'm just not like that. I haven't been like that with a Marvel project in a long time. Well, No Way Home, but that was it. That was the last time I had been like that. Again, those WandaVision days were crazy. 2 a.m. waking up and talking on Twitter with strangers about what we just watched. Crazy times, different times. Puma Lee said, heard Funko Pop spoiled the end of Agatha. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Stamina said, 3 is good. Wrap it up with Vision. Yes, Vision's thing can Wonderman and pretend it never happened. Yep, can Wonderman. Yeah. Let's see. Tyrone said WandaVision and Agatha needs to be canceled. Last of My Kin said, no, I do not like the race swap of, are you talking about of Wendell as Henry Gyrick? Yeah. Cornelius said, I like Wendell's acting. Raymond said, uh-oh, get ready for the racist. Yeah, there comes that too. Tyrone said, Black Henry Gyrick like Black Trask in X3. Was Trask black in X3? Trying to remember. Was he? I think he, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's his name plays him, doesn't he? Wait, am I getting that right? Am I thinking of who? Let me see. I just can't put X3 movie. My fault. X-Men 3. I'm going to see if that's who I think it is. Oh, I'm thinking the wrong person. I'm thinking different person, but I do remember his face now as Trask. I do now. Okay, let's see. Death has many different sides. Yes, she does. Puma Lee said Death has many different sides. She does. I'm just trying to figure out what her motive is to hanging out with. I mean, I've just never known Death to just hanging out with mortals like that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it is she's after. Raymond said, I don't know what Wendell could play. Tyrone said, and where was Death in the Infinity Saga? Who's Thanos' motivation? Yeah, they completely nixed that entire storyline. I mean, even in comics, the snap in comics is not the snap in MCU. The snap in Marvel Comics is more so just something Thanos did, but not with the motivation of the MCU behind it. What was his motivation in the MCU behind it? So, yeah, no, Death was definitely the reason that Thanos was doing what he was doing, was to impress Death in the comics. So they completely nixed that. Took that out. Let's see. Puma also said, hit that like, show support for the channel. Appreciate that very much. Tyrone said, the MCU needs to explore more of the street level stuff with the heroes for hire where Shang-Chi belongs, with Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Yep, and I agreed. Even though like King in Black would be dope for Spider-Man 4, I still think a Kingpin centered whatever they were going to do before would have been better, in my opinion. Just me. I was really looking forward to that. Now this is going to be a more battle world film with a lot more added to it. So Raptor Cloak said, got to buy those tickets to get Jonathan back in the movies again. That's true. Stamina also said, it's not an excuse. The American Talent audition too, and Boyega was who they went with. It's like that sometimes. Yeah. Puma said, support Jonathan Majors. Stamina also said, so get better at acting. Win the auditions. There's plenty of American actors, so if they're not getting work, they need to level up. Simple. Agreed. I like Boyega. Let's see. Cornelius said, The Rock has been giving Apocalypse monologue type promos since 1996. He said it'd be a natural delivery for him. Tyrone also said the micro series came out, or that's I read that part. Sorry. Raptor Cloak said it before. General Grievous was a monster, bro, a monster compared to the movies. But in the movies, I mean, I guess that's the reason why they did that in the movies, is because within the micro series, as everybody that has seen the micro series knows, Grievous was a fucking badass. He was a problem, a huge problem, a major problem. They could not do shit with Grievous. Grievous took out Ki-Adi-Mundi, took out Ayla Secura, took out who was another one of the masters that was in that room with them? Shakti. Took all of them out like it was nothing. And that he didn't even reveal at that time that he had 4 arms. He took them out with 2 arms, and he used one of his feet to pick up the lightsaber. But that's when Grievous was on a different fucking level. But then when Mace Windu crushed his windpipe and gave him asthma, oh yeah, well then he changed completely because he was coughing every 5 seconds. He couldn't move the way he once moved. He was, I think, scared to even though Grievous still took down a lot of Jedi after getting his windpipe destroyed by Mace Windu. I think there were still. That's why he ran. You never saw Grievous run in the miniseries. You saw him run when that big gunship came in, but he was not running from four. There were 3 Master Jedi in that room, and then there were altogether 5 Jedi in there. He took them all out. So he wasn't afraid of them. He never ran. And after getting his windpipe crushed and shit like that, would run from fucking Ahsoka, run from, clones and things like that. Ran from the Gungans. So that's not something that, he changed completely. Now, the Grievous they showed at the beginning of Tales of the Empire, slaughtering the Night Sisters on Dathomir, that was brilliant. That was some hair standing up, chilling Grievous moments. Just as he's killing Morgan's mom and she's telling Morgan, run. He repeats what Morgan's mom says to her, looks at Morgan and says, run, while he's laughing. And the camera fades away from Grievous, and you just see, you can still hear him laughing, but hear his lightsabers too, bro. Grievous, and that's how it's supposed to feel with Grievous. That's why they made Grievous. Grievous was a foreshadow of what Anakin was going to be. The man turned robot, turned into no feelings at all or anything like that. Like, he was foreshadowing Vader. And Grievous was supposed to be this scary, menacing, somewhat myth at the beginning, because in the novelization, The Clone Wars, I wish they put this in the movie. I'm sorry, now I'm going. In the novelization, The Clone Wars, I wish they would have put this in the movie. In Geonosis, like we know, there are catacombs. The Geonosian, the bugs, don't live on the surface like that. They live within the catacombs of Geonosis. Within those catacombs, they had clones in the novelization. They had clones down in the catacombs taking out droids and taking out Geonosians. What the Jedi weren't privy to was that in those catacombs, Grievous was down there fucking up clones. Like, none of those clones made it out. That was a different Grievous. That was Grievous before the chest crush. So he was supposed to be a scary figure. He would, he stood way above 7 feet tall. Like, what were you doing with Grievous? The different time, different monster. Different time, different monster. Wish we could get that Grievous. Let's see what else we got. Raymond said, why not Chris Judge as Apocalypse? He does a great Kratos voice. Not a better Kratos voice than, what's my brother's name that does Kratos in the original God of Wars? His voice as Kratos is, to me, he is Kratos. Let's see. Green TV said, do you think when Marvel reboots we'll see another T'Challa, or do you think they'll write him off? And who do you think could play him? Well, there is this right now that is going around, and we've seen this before. This is not like new or anything like that. We've seen this kind of going around before, that there are several key characters that Marvel Studios is looking at wanting to recast at the moment, and that is Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, T'Challa, with fresh and new faces for post Secret Wars. Do I believe this? In a way, for some. If Marvel is intelligent, if we are to also believe this, if Marvel is intelligent and they are really doing this studio focus deal where not just Marvel Studios in general are doing these focus groups that are paying attention to what fans are saying online, and if you do this, they're going to act this way, or if you do this, they're going to rejoice this way, or whatever. Then if Marvel's intelligent and they are listening to these focus groups, if this is real, then yeah, I do think that we could potentially see T'Challa back, T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, back on the screen. If not, then no, I don't. I don't. I'm going to stand by what I've been saying. I do believe we will see him in either Avengers, both Avengers, the new Avengers films, 6 and 7, or 5 and 6, whichever the fuck they are, or just in Secret Wars, because it is a key character in Secret Wars. I don't know how you do Secret Wars without T'Challa anyway, and not replacing him with Shuri and having Shuri do those things that he did in the comics. No, you need T'Challa to come in and that be that intellect to come in, and if you do the whole gauntlet thing, you need T'Challa to be that guy. So, I mean, yeah. So I don't. Do I think that we'll see him for those two films or one of those two films? Yes, I do. Do I think that we would see him moving forward as the T'Challa in the reboot if Marvel's intelligent? Yes. But they have shown us many times when it comes to the Black Panther franchise that they are very, 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 very unintelligent. With the newest shit that we've heard, or not newest shit, but the shit we've heard about what Eyes of Wakanda, whatever the fuck, what we watched in this November, 2 Novembers ago, the what we saw in 97, the constant doubling down on not wanting to recast T'Challa. Bo DeMayo just recently said in 2021 they were still talking about how it felt too soon to do him animated. If they can't even do him animated, they can't even give him to us animated. I don't see them giving him to us in any type of form, and any type of form after Secret Wars. And the reason I say that is because they've already doubled down on their story, their whole entire story. Now there is the somewhat, I guess you could say, rumors or rumor that I've received that they want to do away with the child. We don't know that for sure. I don't know why Marvel would put so much into the child and put so much into their feelings and everything they did with Wakanda Forever just to undo that. Now you could say, well, maybe they wised up in money. Maybe they understand that character makes sense. Ding dong, that would make sense from the fucking get-go. But I just don't know if Marvel's not shown me anything that indicates that they even give a fuck about the Black Panther. This whole, I've been saying this too. This has been my thing that I've been saying as of late. This whole give a fuck about Chadwick, this whole in honor of Chadwick, all of that shit is, at the beginning I gave you that. I'm not giving you that anymore. I'm not giving you, oh, it's to honor Chadwick. Oh, it's to this for Chadwick. Because if you gave a fuck about Chadwick, like they keep saying they give a fuck about Chadwick, and that's not just Marvel Studios, that is these fake ass fans too, with this fake ass outrage coming in here talking about, oh, I'm so mad that you disrespected Chadwick Boseman and you call yourself a T'Challa fan, but you're disrespecting. No, they don't know shit about Chadwick Boseman. None of them, as I've said before, wake up in their day to day and think about Chadwick Boseman. They don't wake up and think, what can I do for the Chadwick Boseman Foundation today? They don't go to bed thinking about what can I do for the Chadwick Boseman Foundation today. Most of them probably don't even know that there is a Chadwick Boseman Foundation. These are people that are coming in with fake outrage. They are getting online. They're seeing a group of people upset about something that they think, hey, let me get on the side of this and let me pretend to be fake outrage too. Even though I don't know anything about Chadwick Boseman, I wasn't introduced to this person until 2016 in the MCU when I saw him in Civil War. So yeah, let me jump on the bandwagon too and pretend to be fake upset. None of these people give a fuck. Just like Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios doesn't give a fuck. Look at this, bro. The passing, the anniversary of this man's passing, of his death, just came out. Marvel didn't say not a word, not a tweet, not an Instagram, not a Facebook, not a nothing. But they want you to continue to believe this narrative and this myth that it's out of respect for Chadwick and we care so much about Chadwick. And now, granted, I can't speak again. I've said this many times. I will never speak on Ryan's relationship with Chad. I won't speak on Deny. I won't speak on any of that stuff on their feelings. Let me rephrase that. I won't speak on their feelings and mourning Chad because I can't speak on that. Now, when it comes to do I think all of them need to go if they can't get past those feelings? Yeah, they do. They need to go. They need to go. But when it comes to anything seeing T'Challa, the son of T'Chaka in the MCU moving forward, outside of the cameo that I'm sure we will get in Secret Wars or Avengers 5 or anything like that, no. 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 Even Bo gave you fake outrage. I can't, like Marcus said last night, I've never seen a picture of Bo with Marvel with Chadwick Boseman, as long as he's worked at Marvel and things like that. His cat is named after Chadwick Boseman, and things, whatever. But it's not, he even gave, like, it just felt too soon. Humanity over continuity. So if you can't get him animated, you can't get him in live action, you seemingly can't get him in video games because you don't know if you're playing as him or whoever the fuck. I have zero faith at this point. I don't. I don't. It would be intelligent of them, though, to do that, to do the move that's this move here. Of what Grace sent me. Where's that last one? This one. This is the one that would be intelligent. Recasting the key characters and faces that within from these heroes that people know. That'd be smart. Just me. Let's see. Not again. 90 said TC Carson will always be. Yeah, TC Carson will always be Kratos to me. No disrespect to the new voice actor, but I grew up on those. I did too, on those OG God of War games from 2005, bro. Man, that's when Hastings was a thing. I remember going to Hastings, getting that first God of War game. I remember I had the little game on my PSP. God of War 2. I remember when God of War 3 came out, bro. I had to borrow my cousin's PS3 to play it because I didn't have a PS3 at the time. I had to borrow his PS3 to play it. Good times. Those first 3 God of War games were something special. They really were. I thought God of War 2 was great. That second one is one of my favorites to replay. It's a great game. Tyrone said Chris Judge was Magneto in X-Men Evolution cartoon. Was he? Thank you, Falcon. Stamina said, cover the kid with a pillow, kind of kidding, sorta. Puma said, heck no to the child. Antonio Film said, strange how T'Challa and Black Panther are supposed to show stereotypes are wrong, especially with movie sales, but then giving us a bastard child. Yeah. Raymond said Darius John Campia went in on his show tonight about recast T'Challa in a way I never saw before. Did he? Should we look at it, guys? Should we look? And you guys should be able to hear. I think Henry fixed it. You guys should be able to hear the whatever I'm hearing. Let's see what John said. Where at, Raymond? When was this? Was this around? Let me see. He said that you can't support and prolong a legacy by not recasting, and that T'Challa has too much of an importance in our community for them not to. Did he now? Okay. Well, John, you might have gotten a viewer back. Hold on. I'm interested. I'm assuming it would be this. No, this was streamed 2 hours ago. So I'm assuming it would be this one here from 12 hours ago. because he does his stream daily. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, so was it from the stream 2 hours ago? Yeah, no, Campia has said recast many times. I know he has said recast many times. Definitely. He calls himself the Godfather. He said he was one of the first people that said it. So, yeah. Was this in this was in his 2 hours ago stream, though? This one? Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, hell to the no. Oh, this is that Hollywood outfit show they do. No, hell no. So I'm assuming this one. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I want to see. I'm sorry. I want to see. $131.52. Y'all still can't hear it? Shut the fuck up. That really pisses me off. I thought Henry fixed this. He said he fixed it. I'm sorry, y'all can't hear it. But I'm now invested. I have to hear what he's saying. I'm really mad y'all can't hear it. That sucks. Yes, everything is connected. Everything is connected. Henry's gonna have to get his ass over here tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, everybody, on the volume. I'm not gonna continue to listen to it because I feel like this is gonna be a little more than longer than me just sitting here in silence, y'all watching me. So I don't want to do that. But where he's going with it, I don't know why this is so hard to comprehend. We've been saying this, like socially, culturally, the character, this. I've said that there are so many layers to the conversation of recasting T'Challa besides what is on the surface of which is just recasting T'Challa. It's not, there's so many more conversations within that conversation of recasting him. And one of those conversations is the cultural aspect of it, of what he means culturally, of why the character was even fucking created in the first place. So I don't know why. It's not an I don't know why. It goes back to what I was saying again, the fake outrage. These are people that pretend to know things about this character and coming in with the limited MCU knowledge or the recycled arguments that they've saved and bookmarked on Twitter. That's it. That is it. These people aren't coming in with an original, authentic thought. These are people coming in with recycled arguments, people coming in that don't know shit about the character. And then they want to tell you, oh, you're being disrespectful. No, what is disrespectful is that you are taking the first ever black character created, not a derivative character, not a sidekick, a character that was created, oh my God, this is a broken record, in the height of the civil rights fucking movement. So that the black kids that were reading those comics during the civil rights movement could say, hey, this character looks like me, and I relate to this character. They weren't relating to Reed. They weren't relating to Johnny. They weren't relating to your blonde-haired, blue-eyed Steve Rogers. That's why it was important. And the fact that some people will see that, read that, hear that argument, dismiss it, and say, no, You're just being disrespectful because Chadwick this or Chadwick that, without actually knowing what Chadwick himself wanted, is beyond ignorant. It is beyond ignorant. And that is why for most of them, I can't even do the back and forth with them on Twitter anymore, because it's ignorance. You're not coming with an authentic thought. You're not coming with an original thought. You are coming with a recycled, tired, unseasoned, stale-ass argument that you bookmarked on Twitter and that's why I said too, normalize not having an opinion in a conversation where you're not privy to the information at all. And that's what most of these people do. So where John is going with it, I hope there were people, because obviously there's thousands more people that watch his streams than mine. I hope there were people that are in his streams that maybe didn't understand it, that maybe hearing it from somebody that is white or hearing it from somebody that you look up to or whatever, instead of hearing it from a disgruntled fanboy or a mad fan or whatever the fuck we've been called, maybe that might, I don't know, ding dong, make some shit clear to you, some shit that people have been saying to you. I don't know, but it doesn't make sense, and it does get aggravating. And I don't really want to go on a tangent on it, but it does get aggravating. It gets aggravating because it's the simple fact of how hard is it just to put this character back on the screen? Like the wake up after 97 is one thing, and people are really, really, really starting to see it. But I think you're even going to see it even more with Wakanda, the Eyes of Wakanda, whatever the fuck it's called, because it's a Wakanda show where we were told, well, I'm not interested in it I'm not interested in it anyway because T'Challa's not in the show, but we were told that it was going to center around Wakanda and show you aspects of this and this and that and this and this and this and that. From everything we know about Wakanda, or Eyes of Wakanda Forever right now, it is doing any and everything but being centered around Wakanda. We're going to be at the Trojan War. It's going to have something to do with the Horde. We're going to be seeing Knull and the 7 fucking cities of heaven. We're going to be seeing how Knull got dragons. Time travel is going to be involved. All this shit is involved in Wakanda to make you, because they don't have the franchise's main character there. The nucleus of why we even are in Wakanda, the nucleus of why Wakanda even exists, why Okoye exists, why the Queen Mother exists, why any of these other characters under T'Challa exist is not there. When you take away the main character, you take away the majority of the interest of that fucking IP. Without that character, those other characters within that IP simply just do not exist. So when you take him away, of course you got to go focus on the Trojan War. Of course you got to go focus on the fucking Horde. Of course you got to go focus on Knull and all that type of shit. Of course you do, because the franchise's main character is not present. That's why you're doing all these mental gymnastics to try to make this make sense over here and how this connects to that over there. But they want to tell you that Wakanda's using time travel, but at the same time can't go back in time and save Wakanda. Okay. Or save T'Challa. Sorry. Okay. That's interesting. You've got time travel now, but at the same time, you lost your ruler, but you want to go time travel to the Trojan War for whatever fucking reason? My main thought, if I could time travel and I'm a Wakandan, how do we save T'Challa? How do we save T'Challa? Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. How is vibranium everywhere? That's another one too. We that's something else we learned in Wakanda Forever. Vibranium is not special to Wakanda. Yeah, no, I have to have Henry look at this. Like I said, he did just look at it and he said it was working, but maybe, I don't know why it wouldn't work on here. Maybe it just on, because he tested it through OBS and not StreamYard. So I don't know. Maybe I do the next stream through OBS and see if it does it. Yeah, why not the pantheon of gods in relation to Wakanda? Yep, that's another thing. We're supposed to be seeing the Greek gods and spending an immense time with the Greek gods instead of the pantheon of black god. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. African gods. Why not? Why not? It doesn't make sense to me. Nakia isn't even Malice. Claw ain't even a sound monster / robot man. Nope. It's a whole great valued botched Wakanda. Yeah. Where's Bast? Yeah. I think that'll do it too. I think that going back to OBS for a few streams might fix the sound issue. The death scene made no sense. Last of My Kin also said, and I still have not rewatched. Oh, I've only seen it once, and as you guys know, you know the story. We saw it when the Queen Mother died. I literally sat up, got my and not quietly, got my shit and said, this is too much Black Death for me. I'm done. I'm not watching this. And instead of going down, I went up the stairs again. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was done. I've never seen that. I won't see it again. I can't see it again. Like there's no. That opening scene was terrible. That was awful. Never have I sat down a Marvel film and in the first seconds I'm already like that was some shit. They said cathartic. That was some bullshit. That was awful. Yeah, and then you get into more. Let's see. Last my kin said can't have Doctor Doom without T'Challa. Yep. Raymond said I adore the acting. It was beautiful shot and portrayed film, but it's too much death. Yep. Tyrone said they even killed off Suri in Infinity War and Endgame for 5 years. Indeed, they did. Yeah. So, no, bro, it's annoying. Like I said, I want the character back, like everybody. I don't see the purpose of a third Ryan Coogler film either. Cornelius, I don't at all. Stamina said, never watched BP2 again either. I got there late and missed the funeral scene. Thank the Lord. Ramonda nearly had me dip too. Though. Angry. Yeah. John C. said, Bast needed to be in the first Black Panther and leave Bast out of Black Panther 2. And to leave Bast out of Black Panther 2 is blasphemy. Yeah, that is true. You know, it's crazy. It's just it's interesting too. Like just the loops and hoops going through just to turn this franchise upside down. And Tyrone said, and they better not fuck up live action X-Men casting, the mutants only. Yeah. Or calling them mutants only. No, I think Kevin Feige dispelled that. He did say that they are going to be called X-Men. He said they're still going to be the X-Men, not mutants or anything like that. They're going to be the X-Men. So, yeah, that's coming. I just hope they don't botch the roster. I hope that roster that they've been, talking about, I hope that roster's not fucked up. Let's see. And Black Panther has the powers of the King of the Dead. So how did they kill him off? That was one of my main arguments too. When it was coming, leading up to this film. Yeah. No, everybody really should go check this out and hear what he's saying, though. I'll go ahead and just, so you don't got to go searching for it. It's at 131 is what Cornelius said, what Raymond said. So check that out. See what John was saying in that. See what he was saying in that. Whole new cast, director, writers, execs over the BP MCU IP moving forward. Agreed. Raymond said, so does that mean he has the power to be King of the Dead? Yes. Yes. Last of My Kin said, yes, here's my family had a watch party in Chicago for BP2. We all dressed up to see that. Really messed us up and not in a good way. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Same way for me. It was not a good feeling. They were even passing posters out before the film, walking around the theater to the seats and stuff. You want a poster? They asked me, they said, I said, is T'Challa on it? She said, I said, nope, don't want it. Yeah, bro. Like, no, I'm like, I was there as a critic. I was there to critique and see if what you were doing was what you were really doing. But as I said too, before we saw the film, the day of or before I had seen the post-credit scene because it leaked. After seeing the post-credit scene, I really didn't have to go see it. I remember I said that to Q and everybody there. I was like, I've seen the post-credit scene. I'm good. I don't need to see it. What I need to know was confirmed. I've seen it. So yeah. Pretty crazy. But like I said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I do have to go check on my friend across the street though. When I was reading that and I said I was hearing something outside, it's because his truck was leaving. And he is kind of needing me right now. So I'm gonna try to help him with some things, with being a good friend and emotionally. So I'm gonna be there for him. So if like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays, that's the plan every time. This Monday, church is fucked up and took 45 minutes to get me chicken strips. All I wanted was chicken strips. That's it. I just wanted chicken strips. Took forever, 45 minutes for that shit. Then by the time they brought it out, my car battery had died because I guess I had my foot on the brake the whole time I was sitting out there. I was on TikTok just scrolling. So car died. So I had to get somebody to jump it, find a random person in the parking lot to jump it, found that person. Then Wednesday came along and it was about time for me to clock out. My last fucking call was someone who didn't speak English. And on any of those calls, I have to get an interpreter on the line. And the interpreter literally has to repeat word for word what I'm saying back to that person. So you can imagine how long that shit takes. So I didn't get out of there nearly on time to start the live stream that I wanted to start on Wednesday. So that was Wednesday's delay, which brings us to today and why we're streaming today. But so Thursdays is always Pantheon stream unless something comes up between the three of us and we can't all, be there or something like that. Thursdays the Pantheon stream. Mondays and Wednesdays are when I'm trying to do the Planet Fanatics stream where we just go over news or whatever the fuck it is we want to talk about. So that is my plan. So also I thought about doing it here, but I'm not because I've already this behind me and my camera. That's the only thing in this room. Corey has come and picked up her desk and taken it to her house and set up so she can do remote things there from StreamYards when we get together and have our streams. Q needs to come get his. And that's the only other thing in here. Like I said, moving, packing everything up. This was one of the rooms with the most shit in it. So getting everything out of here and in boxes and everything like that. So I thought about starting this new segment that I'm going to do here, but I'm not. I'm going to start it in my new studio when I move. So in like 2 months or so. 2 months. Cinema Buddies, or whatever they're called. They've been reacting. These guys. Let me go to my YouTube really quick. These guys. These guys. They've been reacting to different. They started with Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. They reacted to that. They had never seen Medea before, and it's interesting watching white folks react to different black films and things like that. So I found that interesting. Them watching that. So then, of course, a lot of the Tyler Perry Medea jokes went over their head. Of course, a lot of the Color Purple stuff they didn't understand because they'd never seen it. No fault of their own. And so people were suggesting, a lot of the black viewers in their comments were suggesting, go watch this movie. Okay, you guys need to put this movie on your list, blah, blah. So they've been going through watching a lot of different black films. Now, they're not calling it that. That's just what I'm calling it. They've been watching a lot of different black films. Color Purple is one they just recently watched as well. So it gave me an idea. I was like, you know what? There are a lot of white films. I think there was a misunderstanding when I said this on Twitter. I said, what are some classic white films? No, that's not the dude from The Real Rejects. I thought that's not him. That's not what's Real Rejects' name? It's John and yeah, no, dude, that's him. No, that's not the same person. I thought so too when I first saw them. Two different people. They look like they could be brothers though. But I was like, what are some? Yes, Greg and John, Greg Alba. That's not Greg. I was like, what are some classic white films? Like people were giving me like, people were saying, oh, watch Roots. Well, I've seen like, of course, come on now. I've seen all these. I've seen Roots. I've seen 12 Years a Slave. I've seen Mississippi Burning. I've seen Rosewood. I've seen all that depressing ass shit. I've seen it all. Seen all that. Selma, all of it. But I was talking about white classic films like Breakfast Club or stuff like that, like things like that. So I think I'm about to start a segment on my channel where I react to different white films that I've never seen. Believe it or not, I've never seen Top Gun. I've never seen Breakfast Club. I've never seen Mrs. Doubtfire. I've never seen, some people were telling me Ferris Bueller's Days Out. I've heard of these movies. I've just never seen them. So Silence of the Lambs, never seen it. I've never seen any of these. So I think I'm going to do a segment where I react to some of these and watch them for the very first time and see what I have seen The Mask. I've seen The Mask. I know. When I told one of my friends I'd never seen Mrs. Doubtfire, he was like, what? I was like, yeah, bro, no, never seen Mrs. Doubtfire. I've seen Liar Liar. Like, I grew up a lot on Jim Carrey. Yeah, I've seen Evan Almighty. I've seen Bruce Almighty. I've seen Home Alone. I've never seen Rocky. Never seen Rocky. Never seen. I've seen Cheaper by the Dozen. I'm thinking like let's think more. Like I've seen The Outsiders. Let me see. I'm trying to think of some others. So there's quite a few I have not seen. No, I've never seen Rocky. Never seen those. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe I should watch. Never seen Pulp Fiction. No, never seen Miss Doubtfire. No, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna watch that. I like for Halloween, I want to do The Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that it? The cartoon with Jack Skellington? I've never seen it. Henry has told me for the past few years, you need to put out a reaction to you watching The Nightmare Before Christmas because I've never seen it. So I said I was going to do that. Yeah, there's quite a few, but I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to start that little segment of just reacting to some of those films, because it'll be fun. Yeah, I know. Last of my kin. I'm sorry. No, I've never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sorry. I've never seen those. Never seen them. I'm trying to think of some other like classic white folks home films that I've never seen. Oogie Boogie. School of Rock is another one. Are you talking about with Jack Black? I think I've seen like a part of that. I've never seen it in its entirety. Now, come on, I've seen White Chicks. Is that considered a white film? I've seen Mean Girls. Yeah, Mean Girls is one I've seen too. Schindler's List, no. 50 First Dates, no. Shawshank Redemption, no. Gremlins, no. Dead Poet Society. Have I seen Dead Poet Society? No, I thought that was the one with Robin Williams. Nope, never seen it. Saving Private Ryan. Nope. Clerks. Nope. Good Morning Veteran. or Vietnam. Sorry, no, I have not seen it. I've never seen the Goonies. Oh, of course. Yeah, I've seen Lean on Me. Yeah, like I don't know. Can I put it that like our films I've seen? Like I grew up on a lot of those. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of white films too. Like I'm not saying I haven't. Like I've seen a lot of them, but a lot of their classic ones I had. Like Freaky Friday. Yeah, I've seen Freaky Friday. Lost Boys. Nope. Not again. 90 says, speaking of white chicks, I'm so glad Marlon put Vlad in his place. He had no choice but to apologize. Dude really tried shitting on Marlon. Dude, a legend in the game. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw that on the Shade Room. The Parent Trap I've seen, not the original, but Lindsay Lohan's, yes. Meet the Fockers and the Fockers I have seen. Edward Scissorhands I have seen. Yes, I've seen Edward Scissorhands. Friday Night Lights. Oh, Fight Night? No, I haven't seen our Fright Night. No, I haven't seen it. Remember the Titans? I've seen Remember the Titans. I've seen Glory Road. Yeah, seen some of those. But like I said, a lot of those others, no. Yes, I've seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Disney, I'm covered on my Disney. My Disney movies, I'm covered on that. Nope. True Lies, American President, nope. Don't know what those are. Never seen them. So I've got a lot of movies I've got to catch up on. American Werewolf in London, no. Haven't seen Golden Girls. I love Golden Girls. I Love Lucy. I'm talking about like movies. Yeah, I've seen I Love Lucy. All in the Family, yes. Golden Girls, yes. Now you're getting into TV shows. The Dick Van Dyke Show, yes. Seen it. I feel like I've seen more series, more TV shows than anything, and that's just because of, growing up watching TV all the time. I think I've seen more TV than anything, TV shows. The Long Kiss Goodnight. I've heard of that one. Not seen it, though. Not seen it. John said, can't stand Lean on Me. A traumatic experience for me. Really? Well, I hope whatever it is. That sucks. Because Lean on Me I really like Lean on Me. That's a good one. White Man Can't Jump. Of course, I've seen White Men Can't Jump. Is that not an R movie? Is that not one of... It's a Spike Lee joint. Is that not one of ours? Isn't White Men Can't Jump Spike Lee? Who directed White Men Can't Jump? Why is it not telling me who the director is? Never seen Rambo either. Oh, no, it's not a Spike Lee joint. That's some white man. Thought that was a Spike Lee joint. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice. American Outlaws. Love Robin Williams and mental health awareness. Lived experience. What's up, Ricardo? I haven't watched Penguin yet. Not yet. Every time I get on HBO Max, I debate it. I'm like, I just don't feel like it right now. So maybe once I really feel like it, I am. I just haven't felt like it right now. Yeah, I might wait till all the episodes are done. Then I might check it out. Stamina said Penguin is cold. I need to be in the right headspace to sit with it, but I know it's damn good. Nice. He said you're gonna love Long Kiss Goodnight. Antonio Film said He Got Game was a Spike Lee joint basketball. Okay. I think I might have got maybe getting the two mixed up. He Got Game. That's the one with Denzel. Might have go to Heath. Yeah, with Denzel and Ray Allen. Yeah, where he was playing Jesus Shuttlesworth. I just saw a meme of this movie today that made me think I really want to go see that. I really want to watch this again. Haven't seen He Got Game in a minute. Raymond says Penguin is amazing. Ricardo said Agatha has been surprisingly cool to watch. It has been. Said the same thing. It's been cool. Cornelia said definitely feels like classic HBO show in the making. Yes, I've seen the Aristocats. I told you I'm covered on my Disney. My Disney, I got it. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. That's the song they sing to the baby. Let's see. I don't think I've seen this. Is this not like one of the classic ones? 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, yes, I've seen that. I've seen this. I can't say I've seen this and truly seen it. I cannot say I've truly seen it. I've seen this is what I can say. I've seen the football stadium scene where Heath is singing to her. That's as much as I've seen of that scene of this movie. Other than that, I've not seen this movie. What other related films do they have? Or are these just all Heath films? Related. All right, She's All That. Have not seen it. I've seen Princess Diaries. Clueless? Nope. Never Been Kissed. Isn't that one y'all just recommended? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I have not seen. She's the Man. I've seen. 13 Going on 30. I have seen. Let me see. Trying to look at some of the older ones. I've never seen The Notebook. No. Never seen them. I've seen Hot Chick. The Panic Room is dope. Now, I've seen The Panic Room. Now, don't get me twisted. Jodie Foster. I'm a Jodie Foster fan. So there's a lot of Jodie Foster shit I've seen. Panic Room is one of my favorites with Jodie. Along Came a Spider. No. Understanding said watching all those good movies might change how you look at Disney material. The chick is essentially a cheater in The Notebook. What? I thought that was a romantic story. She cheated after I don't know anything about The Notebook. She cheated after this man was in the rain. I've seen that. In the rain, talking about what do you want? Was that what he was asking her? What do you want, me or him? Cheating. Antonio said Kate and Leopold with Hugh Jackman is kind of funny. Oh, Hugh Jackman's in a comedy? The Passion of the Christ. Okay. Alien versus Predator. Seen it. Stamina said, I don't think I've heard the name OD, a film I've seen in like 15 minutes, aside from White Men Can't Jump. Never seen The Core or Enough. Neither one of those. The Last American Virgin? Nope. Save the Last Dance? Yes, I've seen Save the Last Dance. What happened to her? Where is she? Where is Julia Stiles? This chick was in a lot of shit back in the day. One of the movies I remember her in the most was O. Have you ever seen that movie O with Omar Epps? I believe it's Omar Epps, where he's the basketball player and he's like in love with her and they get involved in some nefarious shit and he ends up choking the bitch out. There it is right there. Oh, from 2001. That's a good one. Oh, is a good one. What happened to her? She doesn't do shit no more. Her last thing that looks like she did was in 2005. No, there's one in 2012 she played in. Something from 2016. Something from 2021. No, that's most recent. So she's still doing shit. I just ain't seen her in a minute. She used to be like top shelf in the 90s, early 2000s. Let's see. Ricardo said he has mixed feelings about Drew Barrymore. Oh, he said he had mixed her up with Drew Barrymore, not mixed feelings about Drew Barrymore. Mixed her up with Drew Barrymore a lot. I saw something on the other day, a debate on Twitter that said Drew Barrymore, who has the better pipes? Drew Barrymore, who has the better pipes, Kelly Clarkson or Adele? And anybody that's not, don't get me wrong, I love Adele. I love Adele. Like I just said the other day, if I'm going to go to a concert, it's got to be somebody like Adele, Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, or like a singer. I'm going to go see a singer, somebody that I can be captivated by your talent, not a rapper that's going to point the microphone at the crowd and shit like that. Not to say I wouldn't go to a rap concert, just not my first choice. But Kelly Clarkson, when it comes to vocals in a vocal contest with Adele, no. Adele can sing. Adele can sing. But Kelly Clarkson, what? Kelly can blow. That viral video of her that went around of her singing in that coffee shop, stop it. No, I can't believe you saying that. I cannot believe you think Adele can sing. Adele can sing. She can. Like, there's no disputing that. There's no disputing Adele. Adele can sing. But when it comes to sure vocal, like how strong of a voice, like Kelly's got a strong voice. Kelly's voice is stronger than Adele's. Kelly, I feel, can do like Adele got the riffs and everything, but Kelly gonna really hit them. Like Kelly can sing. S-A-N-G. Kelly can sing. Adele can sing though. Oh yeah, Christina can definitely sing. Ricardo said Adele singing is tough, but I'm not familiar with Kelly's game. I'm telling you, you got to look up Kelly. Got to look up some Kelly shit live. Not her. Yeah, she kills in the studio too, but look up some shit she does live. Listen to her sing Piece by Piece on the American Idol stage live when, she did, I think I don't remember what year that was. When she sung Piece by Piece, you can listen to her sing whatever that song was she sung in the coffee shop most recently. She'd be killing that shit. Raymond said, "No, Adele can sing circles around her." I don't know. I don't know if Adele can sing circles around her. But it would be a good competition. Yeah, Pink's another one's got a good strong voice, but Pink is more interested in doing fucking Circus Olay ass shit than singing. But Pink's another one that's got a good voice. I mean, look at Lady Marmalade with Christina Aguilera, Pink, Maya, Kim, Missy Elliott. I don't remember where it was. I think you can look it up on YouTube though. There's like a thing where none of them got along. Christina, Pink. I don't know if Maya really had an issue, but Christina and Pink didn't get along. Let me put it that way. Yeah, what's up, Liam? Appreciate you being here. American Pie. Never seen it, but I have seen the what's another one? What's his name? The little nerdy Napoleon Dynamite. Never seen it. I understand. I used to love Pink back in the day. Yeah. I don't think Pink still sings. I don't think she still sings, but yeah, Pink. I don't think she sings anymore though. I don't know. Does Pink sing? I don't listen to mainstream radio. I listen to a lot of different music. I'm be honest with you. I'm very much like the boys. When I used to coach the boys used to hate it because on Sunday nights, if we were driving back from like Texas, Kansas, if it was a drive type of tournament we were driving back from, Ox is on my phone. And we are listening to some slow jams, some 90s cool down slow jams. This is a long ride back. Get your pillow, relax. We're about to listen to these slow jams, some Brian McKnight. About to listen to some Old Wit. About to listen to some Joe. About to go on ahead and listen to some Keith Sweat. About to just slow it down a little bit. Yeah, some Maxwell. There you go. Slow that shit down. Like I told the boys, I said, there's more to music than fucking and sucking them and got all this money and all the cars and bang bang he's dead. I said, there's more to music than that shit, right? Don't get me wrong. I love to bump like when I'm in my rap mood. I love that. My hip hop mood. I'm in my hip hop mood. But I was like, if y'all actually just slow down some music and kick back and relax, listen to some fucking slow jams. Yeah, Jodeci. What? Yeah, that good shit. That good shit. That Joe. I wanna know. I wanna know. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, that's that good shit. Just put that on a Sunday. That's what I put on when I'm cleaning anyway. When I clean my house, I'm a religious cleaner. My house has to be clean. So when I'm cleaning my house, it's slow jams. Slow jams. Blasting that shit. Pink touring right now. Damn, did not know. Everybody talk about she still sings. She's on a tour right now. Yep, she's still singing. Jagged Edge. Yep, that's another one. Yeah. You know what? My high school sweetheart and I, that was our song. Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. That was our song. Yeah. I just want to get married. Meet me at the altar and your white dress. Yeah, that was it. That was our song. That's when we thought that we were going to be together forever. We were together all throughout high school. But she was a year older, so she went to college before I did, and I wanted my high school senior year to be free. I wanted to be free, and we didn't have that great of a summer and getting along either that summer. And I think it was because she was moving. Actually, I'm old enough now. I know what it was. My dumb ass was pushing her away because I wanted to be free. I wanted to have a free summer, but I also still wanted her in the process. But I didn't want to be tied down my senior year. So broke that relationship off. I will tell you though, if I didn't, I can promise you, it's not tell you, I can promise you, we would likely be married today. I don't know if I'd be sitting here doing this today, but we would likely be married. Different timeline, different me, completely different timeline. That was a me that wanted children. Ugh, children. I wanted children at one point, not just children like one or two. No, I wanted 6 of them little bastards. No. What did I lie to you about? Oh, hell yeah, I'm on that Donnell Jones shit. That doom, doom, doom. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I wanted 6, bro. I wanted 6 kids. Yeah, I was at one point. I was in love with her at one point. We really were. We spent our waking. She went to a different high school. She went to the high school across town. I went to the other high school, but we spent every lunch together. We were always together. Always together. That was for sure going to be my wife. 6 kids, I know. Wild as hell. And I wanted 6. I had names for these kids too. I had names. They had names. They had names. They had personalities. They had careers. I knew what they were going to do. Oh, yeah. Some more good ones. Tone. Drew Hill. One stems. Eternity. Yeah, I'm telling you. I wanted all that shit. That's when I wanted, he said my future wife better be happy with 1. Yeah, no, man. I have, okay, so without the judgment, I think I've told y'all this already. So I have kids, but my kids are fur kids. My kids aren't, I will never be real children. So I have 9 cats and I have 2 dogs. I have a pit mixed, and I have 9 cats. Now, the story behind the 9 cats, I had 1 cat that I rescued. Before I was a cat person, I rescued this cat, and I didn't even know I was a cat person. I rescued the cat with the intentions of taking the cat to the shelter that next day, but fell in love with the cat. The shelter was closed. Got another cat because I thought this cat needed a friend, and they were kittens at the time. Turns out the kitten I originally had was a boy. I thought it was a girl, so I got a girl cat. Anyway, they ended up hunching. She got pregnant. We had kittens. I gave one of the kittens away. I kept all the other kittens, and just recently got 2 new kittens off of the euthanization list because I couldn't stand that they were going to kill those sweet little babies. So I took them too. So yeah, I have kids, just fur kids. And the kittens really are like kids, because when you have kittens, bro, like, it's different. They're up before you're up, and they don't care about, like, they will come and try to get under the blankets and cry and not stop. So yeah, I love my babies. Let's see. Raymond said, I want 7 because I don't have siblings, and I always did. And I don't even have 1 cousin. All my cousins are 2 to 5. Shut up, really? No, I grew up with all my cousins. Lots of cousins. My sister, my brothers. Yeah, no, I had my siblings and my all my cousins for sure. Let's see. Cornelia said 1 cat's good for me. She's enough. I said the same thing. I thought that too. Liam said no kids in my 20s though. Hell no. Yeah, no kids. Puma said the OJ's Forever Mine. It's a good one. Cornelia said grandma had 10 kids, so that's plenty of us. Yes, see, my grandmother had the four, my mom and her siblings. And of course, they branched their children, my cousins. And then there's my grandmother's sisters and those cousins, my second cousins and their kids and things like that. Yeah. Had a lot of cousins, though. They used to call me, my cousins used to pick on me. They used to call me the big head detective because I was a tattletale and I had a big head. So they used to call me the big head detective. So in some of our home videos, you will always hear them saying, "Here comes the big head detective." And, I was such a crybaby. Everything got to me, so I cried and ran to mom and all that type of shit. So yeah, I was the big head detective, and they still do call me that sometimes. Let's see. Raymond said, my grandmother had 3 daughters, but her sister had 10 kids. Oof. Her brother, who died young, had like 4. 3 died of AIDS. And Nottingham 90 said, my grandma had 6 in total, including my mom, all with their own kids and families, 3 boys, 3 girls. Nice. Stamina said, Big Head Detective sounds like a not for kids movie. Yeah, Big Head Detective. Let me see if, well, I don't think I can. I don't think it would let me pull that up. I was going to try to pull this one video up, but I don't think it'll let me. Because one, I don't even know the password to that shit. Yeah, no. And see, we grew up, well, you guys aren't from here, but I grew up, my family, we would go to a town here in Oklahoma called Hugo almost every weekend when I was younger, because that's where most of the family was, on my grandmother's side at least. And so we were always down there in the country, in the sticks, and in an all black town. It's one of the all black towns of Oklahoma. So there was white folks there, but they're on the other side of the tracks, and it really is literally to this day that way. They are on the other side of the tracks. There is a literal railroad track that runs through Hugo, and it really does separate the races. And it's not like an intentional thing. Not like there are racist folks there, but it's not like a. It really does separate them. You've got the whites on that side, you have the blacks on that side. You have the white cemetery that is starkly different from the black cemetery. So yeah, it's very different down in Hugo. Circle G, it's where my mom grew up. Very ghetto little circle. Some project type shits, like little duplexes. Maybe when my mother lived there, they weren't. They're probably newer when they were little. But you go there now, yeah. Officially MG said, I feel like 35 is a good age to become a dad. So I'll 35. Oh, I've always no, I can't do that. I just feel like because I feel like if I didn't have a kid in my 20s, I don't want one. I don't want one because I don't want my child to have me in my 30s and 40s, and then at graduation, I'm pulling up at 60, and everybody's like, "Is that your grandma, your grandpa?" Like, no, like I would want my mom had me when she was 27, and I think that's fine. Earlier would have been cool too, but my mom had me when she was 27. So with me and my mom, it was me and my mother for a while because my biological father was not in the picture. Well, my mom played both mom and dad, but my biological father was in and out of the picture. It's not like the nigga was in the picture like that, but in and out of the picture. And my mom definitely, when it was just both of us, like she was my everything, but she had me at 27. So I couldn't imagine having like my sister, for a better example, my mom had my sister when she was, I want to say maybe around that time, Liam, she was in her like mid 30s maybe when she had my sister, but my sister was her last. So it's like, very different relationship that my sister had with my mom than the mom that I had growing up, that my sister had growing up. Very different upbringings. Softer upbringing for my sister, for sure. A softer upbringing for my sister, where she got to do we had a rule, like we could not go to bed with shit in that sink. Not a spoon, not a soap sud, nothing better be in that sink. In that kitchen better be clean. The house better. My sister, bro, before I moved into this house, my sister, before I moved to this house, I stayed over there while they were getting it ready. I moved in with I won't say moved in, took a suitcase to my mom's for like a week before I moved into this house. And my sister, bruh, the shit she got away with, I was astonished. I was like, this is not the same. Like, I told her, I said, the shit you're growing up with is not the same. I would have been and got backhanded. I would have been and got woke up out of my sleep with the belt. What? You went to bed with dishes in the sink? What? That's crazy. You get to just go to bed and not what? That's crazy. Couldn't do that shit. Could not do that. Ricardo said, I'm 22, and for some of my peers already married with children, I couldn't imagine having kids right now, but 5 years later, maybe. No, yeah. There's a lot of even though we've been out of high school 10 years, we just had our 10-year anniversary, but they're, even now, seeing some of them with kids and things like that, I really won't say with kids anymore. Like at first, when they started having a lot of my classmates started having kids, I was like, damn, people getting married, having kids. Now it's just like, okay, it's normal. But the way that some of my peers look like we've been out of high school for longer than 10 years. And I'm like, there's no way you look like that. Is it the kids? Is it the marriage? Is it the stress of that? Because I'm so glad I don't. I'm so glad I don't look like that. But a lot of them look very, very rough. Very rough. Let's see. Official MG said, but there's just so much I want to do before having kids. That too. He said, I also feel I want to have a lot of wisdom to impart on my kid too. So that's why I'll wait till my mid-30s. That too. Those are good points too. World's Biggest Geek said, hello, what do you think of Knull and the Venom movie? Do you think they will honor him from the comic story? And I hope he has a symbiote sword, the Necro sword. I think he will more than likely have the Necro sword, considering this Knull is going to be from a different universe than what we saw the Necro sword in the MCU with Gore. Do I think they're going to do him justice? I don't know. It is Sony. Sony is going to Sony. Marvel is involved, though, the MCU. So who knows? Or Marvel Studios, rather, is involved. So who knows? It's Andy Serkis. So I think that it's going to be done very well because it's Andy, as far as like the motion capture, the voice, the movement, and all that type of stuff that he is doing. I think that will be brilliantly done. Do I think that they might nerf him? Will he be the all-powerful symbiote god that he is in the comics that, is really a very, very powerful being? I don't know. I feel like in any movie, we don't typically get the true power set of a lot of these characters. So, but we'll see. We will see. Oh, Puma Lee said he's done. His youngest turned 28 and his oldest is 38. See, I just joined the 30 Club not too long ago. And, I don't want to say not too long ago. I am on year 1 of my, does that count? Okay, 30 counts as 1, then what is 31? Year 2. So I'm on year 2, I guess, of my 30 journey. It doesn't feel different from the 20s. It feels, I feel like I am obviously smarter than I was in my 20s. I feel like 20s, was a lot of trying to figure shit out. But yeah, I'm the 30 gang. The 30 gang. Raymond said he has hated his 20s. My 20s were consumed with basketball. Dedicated to my boys. If I wasn't at an AAU tournament on the weekends, I was doing something basketball related, recruiting at a camp or doing something. My entire 20s was literally basketball. And I look back on it. There are things that I'm like, do I regret any of my basketball stuff? Hell no. But there are things where I'm like, well, damn, I did miss out on this, or I missed out on that, or I missed out on this, because literally I was with those boys 24/7. If we weren't practicing on a Tuesday or Thursday, or I didn't make it where we had 3 practices that week, we were doing something together, whether it was a fundraiser, whether it was watching film, or whether it was something. We were together doing something, whether they were with me going to try to recruit another kid at a game or something like that. We were always together. On the weekends, if we had a tournament here in the States, typically they would all stay the night at my house, bring their games and shit and plug it up in the living room, stay at my house or whatever. On the weekends, it was just me and the boys, because I had 2 of their parents were supportive parents on that particular team, but most of their parents were never involved. So it was always me and my 10 boys going from state to state to state to state to state. And that was the thing too. You get to a point where they got on my ever-loving goddamn nerves, where I used to tell them, shut up, nobody talk. I don't want to hear another fucking word from the gym to the I don't want nobody speak. There were shit like that. There were days like that. There were, the stressful times of having to feed everyone. But I wouldn't take any of that back. Like I feel like I thrived on that schedule. Like I felt like if in my 20s, if I wasn't doing basketball, I felt like, what am I doing? Like I'm not doing basketball. I'm not going somewhere with the boys. Like I was constantly checking on the boys, and the boys were constantly on my phone, texting me or whatever. It was a different time, a very different me at the same time. I am interested though. I do want to go back. I'm interested to see how I would be now. Now, as far as coaching goes now, I feel like because I'm not in my 20s anymore, and in my 20s, I'm still very, 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 very competitive. That competitive streak in me as a coach hasn't changed. I'll put this in the background while I'm saying that, just so you can see for those of you that haven't. But my competitive streak in basketball, it hasn't changed. So that would be the same. I just think my approach and how I coach would probably be different, as far as like I'd probably be more Phil Jackson-y than anything. More than likely, it'd be more. This was my last group. It'd be definitely more of a Phil Jackson type of approach. I feel like I'd be more laid back. Still very much. I would get texts. I got texts. I think I've shown y'all that video of me getting kicked out of a game, a game. But these boys were good, man. This was not my best group, but one of my favorite groups. They were good. They were ranked. I mean, they were ranked within our division here in the circuit we played in. They were great. Yeah, we were number 3 in our division. I had 2 kids from Kansas. That's one of them. So get this. I would go pick these boys up from Kansas every weekend. Okay. I would go pick these 2 boys up from Kansas every weekend. And then let's say we played in Colorado, or we played in Dallas, or we played in Vegas. When we got back, tired or not, I would have to take them back to Kansas and then drive myself back and then get up and go to work the next day. But that's how dedicated I was to AE basketball. And for me, it was never, not that any of y'all ever asked any of this anyway. It's just late now. I'm just talking. I never asked. I was the youngest. I was one of the youngest coaches at the time that I started coaching. I was one of the youngest coaches in Oklahoma, and not only was I one of the youngest coaches, I had one of the best at that time. I had the best team. The team that Q played on, that was the best team in their division in Oklahoma, and they also were one of the best teams wherever the fuck they went. That team was phenomenal. They won 127 games and lost 18 in that season. 127 and lost 18. They were something special. And then there was my next group, not this group. My next group was from my cousin's group. That was, to me, my best team. Q and them were, I just said Q and them were my best team. Q and them were my most successful team as far as like their record goes. But when it comes to my best team, as far as like paying attention, being coachable, the little shit that goes beyond winning, that was my best team. Their record was really good too. They were also ranked in their division. But this team were ranked in their division as well. They were really good. It was a good group. This is a good group. Yeah, Ricardo, that shit was crazy. Crazy, right? I would be picking them up, taking them home, and not just the Kansas boys, because I didn't have parent involvement on this particular team. I was taking all these boys individually to their houses in Oklahoma City, and then going to Kansas, then coming back. Like my dog was, when I would come through Oklahoma, I'd get him, he'd get in the car with me so I could just have some company on my way back from Kansas or whatever. But yeah, no, it was crazy times, but it was like I wanted to do it. I hated the drives, like doing that shit like that, but the games, I thrived on it. The hardware, like getting my boys noticed, getting them recognition. It was never about Like, because, people would be like, oh, coaches, are you getting paid to coach? Are you getting this? Or you need to, no, I'm not getting paid to coach. Because for me, it wasn't about money. And even if I went back, it's not about money. The goal here is to get these black kids off the fucking street. Is that not the goal? The goal was to get these black kids off the street, not just get these boys off the street, but get these boys into college, whether that be D1 or not. It was to get these boys in college. They're got 3, 4 here in college. That was the goal. We did it. It may not have been D1 or anything like that, but we did it. They're playing I got one playing D2 in Kansas right now. I got another one playing D2 in Kansas too. I had 3 playing D2, but he just recently had a child. Some of those lectures go in and some of them stick and some of them don't. But no. Crazy times, fun times. These were definitely my boys, man. Definitely my boys. For sure. This is a game we lost. We lost this game. This was very, very upsetting. This was Chauncey Billups' team. He was not there. When we saw him in Colorado, he was at that game when we played them. But this dude right here, number 6, he gave us problems. They all gave us. For those of you talking about, Darius, where are you without your hat? There I am without my hat. I didn't always wear my hat in games and shit like that. So there I am without my hat. But one of the best kids I've ever coached, right there. One of the toughest kids I've ever coached. David's tough. Good night, Stamina. I appreciate you being here. I do need to help my friend. But I haven't heard his car come back, so I assume he's not home. And I'm not about to wander aimlessly outside. So I'm assuming he's not home. But yeah, no, great team. This kid here plays football. The one here, light skin there. Oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at. The light skin at the bottom, he plays football for Baylor. The one running up, he plays football in Arkansas. This was good times. They got yelled at in the parking lot after this game because this was an 8 a.m. game. So sometimes you have your 8 a.m. game, sometimes you have a 7 a.m. game. It just depends on the magnitude of the tournament. This was an 8 a.m. game, and I told them before this game started, we had watched this team that night before. I said they are long. They are long. I said they're long, but they're slow. We are so much faster than they are. The fact that we played this and watching this game to this day still pisses me the fuck off. The fact that we played to their speed, we played their level the entire game. We let them dictate the pace. We let them dictate we let them control the game, the whole game. Look, we're running at their speed. It's just this was years ago and it still pisses me off. Because I wanted this game, bro. I wanted this tournament. I was like, there's no way, bro. So yeah, no. It was some crazy shit. There's no way we should have lost this game. Grand Regent Thrag, appreciate you jumping in. He said, who is the best player on this team? Best player on this team. Let me see if I can show you. Let me show you this. I want to say it's still uploaded on but in my private stuff. Hold on. I'll show you. Give you a, this right here. This is a highlight tape. So best player on the team, on this particular team, was number 0. That was David. David was so fucking tough. He was my point guard. David dictated the floor. He could see the entire floor, see passes, make some great passes. But the thing about David that was so good wasn't his leadership ability, because David and I bumped heads a lot on his leadership ability. A lot of times David didn't know how to talk to his teammates or be a leader. And we bumped heads on that a lot. But the dog that he has, David is a dog. He's a dog. He will get on the ground for the ball. He's going to do the shit that nobody else wants to do. When my post player wasn't wanting to be a big man, David literally said in the huddle, coach, move him out. I will go down low. Let me go down low. I said, okay, switch. For the hell of it, switch. David went down there, switched. Bro, board after board after board, free throw line, and one. I'm like, but it's the dog mentality. It's that I'm gonna do what nobody else is gonna do mentality. That's what separated David from. I used to tell the boys all the time. Everybody used to come to me, Coach, how many points do I have? I don't give a stop worrying about how many points you have, because it's not about your points. Everybody's worried about the stats. How many times did you get on the ground for the ball? How many passes did you successfully complete? How many box outs did you have? How many rebounds did you have? You're so worried about your points, but what these kids don't ever understand is that these college coaches aren't looking at you because of how many points you can put in the hole. Every single kid under that gym at a tournament can put the ball in a hole. Otherwise, you wouldn't fucking be there. So every kid can put the ball in the hole. So these college coaches know that. So I'm not coming to watch you do what I know you can already do. I'm coming to see what the fuck else is in your bag. What else do you got? What else can you do? What can you bring to my program that I already don't have? Because if you're another kid that's just bringing me more 10 points here, 10 points, whatever, you're only fixated on points, you're only fixated on that part of the stat book, I don't need you. I'm looking for kids at 8 a.m. that want to get on the ground for the ball. I'm looking for kids at 8 a.m. that want to make the right pass. I'm looking for kids at 8 a.m. that are being a team leader. I'm looking for kids at 8 a.m. that are going to be more me. I'm sorry, be more we than over me. Like, they're not looking for kids that are doing any of that silly ass shit, bro. And I used to tell my boys that all the time. Like, y'all are looking, y'all want these college coaches to come watch you drop 30. But while you drop 30, were you neglecting the guy that was open in the lane? Did you give up a good pass? Did you give up a good play because you out here trying to impress the coach with stats? Nah. See, this game right here, that was a good one. We were down big time that game. Came back and won that bitch. This one. Came back and won that bitch. They parents were talking so much shit. So much shit. Yeah, we came back and won this one. That's another thing too. It's fun, bro. It's fun. Like, AAU basketball, it's like we would have a game at like 12, turn around and have a game at 2, turn around and have another game at 5. You might go, like in Vegas is a week-long tournament. We got to Vegas on a Monday. We started playing on Wednesday. We played maybe 2 games Wednesday. You might play maybe 1 or 2 Thursday, but then Friday starts your bracket play. It is boom, 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 boom. You're playing Friday, back-to-back-to-back games, Saturday, back-to-back-to-back games. And that's assuming you're winning, because if you're losing, then obviously the more you lose, you take your ass back home. But you are playing over and over and over and over. Like, yeah, our record at that time, we were 38-8 at the end of our spring session. We had lost 8 games, and not one of those 8 games was to an Oklahoma team. So yeah, I was pretty proud of my boys. I was proud of my record, proud of my everything I put into that, because I was the youngest coach out there, and they used to let me know that all the time. But they could not ever figure out how my young, black, talented ass was whooping, and I'm not exaggerating, whooping that ass. Am I still coaching? No, I have not coached since the COVID season that got canceled. Would have arguably, I still say this, would have been my absolute goated best season. That roster was fucking ridiculous. That roster was ridiculous. That was crazy. I didn't get to do it though because of COVID. I would like to go back. The only thing that's stopping me from going back is I don't want to start from the. I know that sounds crazy. I don't want to start from the bottom again. That's a hard climb, and the difference is I was able to get good kids because the kids knew who I was, because of the reputation that me and my team had built. These current kids, they don't know who the fuck I am. They don't know who my boys were or anything like that. They don't know the team that I could. So I can't go in there with that same bravado that I had before. That same, I can't. Like, I would literally be pulling kids, and I hate to say it like this, but I'd be pulling kids that are subpar kids. And when it comes to AAU basketball, You want the best of the best of the best kids on your team. You do. That's just really what it is. I'm not saying the kid. It's difficult. I'm not going to go into the details of explaining how you pick and choose, how I picked and choose my kids, but I don't want to. I don't have time to teach you how to play basketball. Does that make sense? If I say it like that, like I can teach you how to play basketball, but I don't want to go over like little shit. I just don't. I'm at this stage in my coaching career. If I came back, I don't have the patience for that shit. Mm-mm. So nah, I'm good there. Let's see. John said, Darius, have you watched Hurricane Season with Forrest Whitaker? I haven't. I have not. I just recently rewatched, speaking of Forrest Whitaker, rewatched Panic Room the other day that Cornelius brought up. I forgot Forrest Whitaker was in it, but I did not know that the main burglar was Jared Leto. I didn't know Jared Leto was in that. Grand Region Thrag said, were you a coach for a school or AAU team? I started in AAU. I then coached at Irving Middle School here in Norman, and we only lost one game. I know it's just middle school, but let me tell you about that. Because I'm an AAU coach, my mindset is different than that of a regular school coach. School coaches and AAU coaches don't get along at all. My mindset was, I'm going to beat you into the fucking ground. That's my mindset. It's a basketball game. I want you to remember this ass whooping. I want you to go home and at your practices before you see us again, prep and remember, damn, when you see our name on the list, it's that team that beat our ass. I want your practices to be centered around us. I want your prep for that tournament to be centered around me, to be centered around my boys, to be centered around how we whooped that ass. I want that to be remembered. I need you to remember that ass whooping. I need you to talk about that ass whooping. Spread that ass whooping. I want that talked about. So with that, when I wanted all, like, wanting that type of reputation, that's the reputation I went in with school ball. And our very first game, we played a school from Moore, Highland West. We beat the dog shit out of them. The dog shit. The boys I had, because I didn't have a bad team. For a school team, three of the boys on the team played on my AAU team. One of them was my best player on that AAU team that Q was on. We whooped their ass. It was so bad. It was so bad. In Norman, there is a rich white school. It's Whittier. Whittier is the rich white school. That's where all the rich, preppy white kids go, and the stuck-up other kids too, and things like that. They are typically the more athletic school. Well, I don't want to say the more athletic school, because Irving, where I coached, is where considered the black school. It's where the black kids go. Irving was always the more athletic, even when I went to because there's 4 middle schools: Longfellow, Alcott, Whittier, Irving. I went to Longfellow. Irving was always the black, more athletic school. Whittier was the preppy school. Alcott and Longfellow fell somewhere in between. But Whittier always typically won like city and all that kind of stuff for the middle school shit. Well, when I came along with my team, because I was so ready to play Whittier, because I played them in middle school, so it was just I was like, I'm about to get, as a coach, I'm about to get their ass. So when we played them, it's quarters in high school, it's not halves, and in AAU basketball it's halves, and in school ball it's 8-minute quarters, and in middle school ball it's only 8 minutes, 8-minute quarters. The first quarter, I think we were up 34-0. They couldn't break my press. We ran a diamond press, and they couldn't break my press. Anyway, we ended up beating the dog shit out of them that game. I won't go into the details of that game because there was some racist shit going on that game within it was bad. The next day, myself and one of my best friends and co-head coach, Greg, we get called into the superintendent's office in Norman. We get called in the superintendent's office. Superintendent's telling us that it's just middle school basketball. We shouldn't be beating teams that bad. We should at a certain point we need to pull out our starters. The starters don't need to be in when the game is that out of control and blah 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 blah. And the whole time, this is new to me. I'm not a school coach. I had been coaching AAU basketball for quite some time at this point. So I'm like, I've got this look on my face in the meeting, like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Like, this is sports. So you're telling me in sports you want me to pull what? I'm not a participation trophy person. I'm not like, for me, this is just me. You might say this is me being a sore loser or whatever. My boys will tell you. If we got put in a consolation bracket, 9 times out of 10, we went home. What the fuck am I playing in a consolation bracket for? For what? Shits and giggles? For the pat on the back? Thanks for coming and see you on your way back? No, fuck that. We went home and we hit that fucking practice gym. Why are we in a consolation bracket? Why are we in a consolation bracket? What have we done to prep to be in a consolation bracket? So no, I didn't play that consolation shit. I don't play participation trophies. Like, I'm not interested in any of that shit. So when it came to me and my kids, it was a business trip, and they knew that. Like, did we have fun? Yes, we had fun. But at the end of the day, it is a business trip. A lot of money goes into AAU basketball. You little niggas ain't just here for free. Plane tickets to Vegas cost. Gas to here and there and having to rent a vehicle every weekend cost. Food to stock the hotel rooms cost. The Vegas tournament alone entry fee is $900. Good tournament entry fees are not going to be under $400 to $500. So you got to pay for the hotel. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into it. So, yeah. So anyway, they were upset that we were winning, and we had to sign these contracts that said that at a certain point I would not leave the boys in. At a certain point, I would pull them out. And what else did they say? I forgot everything it was. It was some bullshit. It was some bullshit though. Yeah, it was crazy. I couldn't, but even taking my starters out and things like that, we were still dominating. Still dominating. Yeah, they were good. So I coached at Irving and I coached AAU basketball. But AAU basketball, if I had to choose between the two, that's tough. I would still do both, but if I had to coach, I think I would coach as far as, I've always said this, if given the opportunity, I would coach as far as college. I would never want to coach NBA basketball, because at that point now I'm coaching niggas to play. I'm coaching niggas that get paid to play. And there's the to me, I always use this as an example, the butting heads between, thank you Raptor Cloak, peace out bro, the butting heads between Eric Spoelstra from Miami Heat and LeBron. These are grown ass niggas that are getting paid millions of dollars to bounce a basketball. I don't want to coach these guys. That's just me personally. I don't, because to me, I feel like you lose a bit of control at that point. And as the coach, and I've said this before, if I coach the NBA, if I coach an NBA team, I don't care. And I love Steph, but I approach every team with the same mindset. When I'm coach, when I've got the clipboard, you're running this is my game. You are playing my game. How you play may be designed into my game, your talent, but it's still my game. And you're going to play my game, or you're going to sit on my bench. It's up to you. So with Steph, if I coach in the NBA, yes, Steph is a shooter. I'm never going to tell a shooter to stop shooting. Yes, keep shooting and things like that. But when that bitch ain't falling, that bitch ain't falling. There's other ways to get a three. You can take that thing to the hoop, Get it the old-fashioned way. And one. Boom. Take it to the line. But see, one of the biggest issues within the NBA that with my team, at least with the Warriors, is Steve Kerr has zero control of that team. Zero control. They go out there and do whatever the fuck it is they want to do. When a shot's not falling, let's jack up 60 more. Steve Kerr won't call a timeout. He won't be like, let's, if shoot another. For me, I would pull your side, shoot another fucking 3, and I'm going to sit you on this bench. See, but I've done that before. Nationals. We go to a national event. At the end of everything, you go to a national event. Nationals. I set my 2 bet on Q's team. Q will tell you this, that we could have won nationals, or we could have won nationals. Or at least placed in that top 3 for sure. But we could have definitely won nationals. I set my best 2 players out of the semifinals game that would have put us in the championship. Their parents, now Q's team had parent involvement big time. All their parents were involved. Parents sitting on the other side yelling at me, what are you doing? Put the boys in. But see, my thinking of it was, why the fuck am I going to reward my boys for bad attitudes, playing the way you playing and all that type? This is an annual tournament. So we didn't get our shit together this year. I bet you we'll learn and get our shit together by next year. And if your kid's not with me next year and you want to take the easy way out and put them on a different team, then do that. But I'm not changing my coaching style. I'm not changing the way I coach to appease anybody. My coaching style is why the fuck I'm one of the best, and I'm not trying to toot a horn, but one of the best coaches here in Oklahoma when it comes to AAU basketball. My teams were feared. I mean, that's just what it was. We were feared. You don't want to step on the court with that purple and silver. You just didn't. You didn't. It really was that type of deal. So I would approach NBA the same way, but I would never coach NBA. I would only want to coach as high as probably college basketball. And that would be the stop for me. But I definitely miss this shit. Definitely miss it. Cam or Grand Region Thrag said it's crazy how expensive kid sports is. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Ricardo said you finna get Crushfield coaching in the NBA, crucified coaching in the NBA. Yeah. Not again. 90 said, well, we need Darius on Kerr coaching team this year. Gonna be tough. Oh, bro, I saw that roster and immediately I just kept scrolling. I did one of these. I said, and kept scrolling because we're gonna get stomped. Curb stomped, mollywopped. There's no way that roster. Steph is going to Steph. Steph is going to Steph. Stepherless, Steph-tacular, whatever you want to call him. Steph is going to Steph. But the rest of that roster, woo. Oofa. He said Kerr's still trying to run small ball. Yes, in a 3-pointer plays in 2024. Yes, that's small ball. That's the thing that's always beat the Warriors, small ball. That was one of my issues. I really never had a big. Having to play small ball sucks. Especially when they got a talented big. Small ball sucks. Raymond said, well, I got to get up early, so I'm going to bid you good night. Good night, Raymond. Appreciate you being here. Pumali said, respect, teaching the real. I raised my children, nothing mess with money. Your job is to study and work hard. Yeah, man. Like I told my boys, we're here for a reason, bro. We're here to get you to get you guys recognized, to get you guys your future set up and everything like that. But also, this is a business trip. What you learn in sports, no matter what sport it is, it doesn't matter the sport. What you learn in sports transcends into real life. I'm just a firm believer that adversity, that was our key word that season. That video y'all just watched, that was our key word that season. Adversity. I think I said adversity more than anything. How can we overcome adversity? I mean, so you deal with adversity in sports, you deal with adversity in real life too. I mean, the things you deal with in sports, you're going to run into in real life, and it's going to be up to you to know how to navigate through that. And that was just something I was trying to teach my young black boys, among many other things. Well, also they taught me a lot of things too. I learned a lot from those boys. So yeah, they are still very much my family, very much so. But anyway, yeah, I do appreciate everybody hanging out. I know I said that a long time ago. I was supposed to bounce a long time ago out of here, but I appreciate everybody hanging out and with me and everything like that. I'm going to be back live on Monday. And then, of course, on Wednesday, I'm trying to keep that schedule. So Monday and Wednesday, I'll be live, and then Thursday with Chillin' Marcus for the Pantheon. So appreciate all you guys hanging out with me and just the chat stuff after the news. That's always fun. Just talking real life stuff with you guys is always fun. So, yeah, we got to hang out more. Like I said, once I get my new studio together, it's going to be back to the regular schedule shit. It's just been chaotic trying to move. I hate moving, and you don't realize how much shit you really have until it's time to move. So it's got a lot of stuff. But anyway, yeah, appreciate you too. Last Mike in, appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Puma Lee, Nottingham 90, Ricardo, Grand Region Thrag, Raymond, Liam. Who else am I missing? Understanding, appreciate you. John C, appreciate it. Stamina, Cornelius, all of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys being here. And really this was a fun live stream, so I appreciate it. Ricardo, talk to you guys later. As always, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Bobby, peace out, brother. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.